Everybody will thank you. Go to DelcorInc.com or call 252-321-8868. Delcor, the service professionals.
This is James Greenleaf, the General Manager of Delcor Heating, Coolant, and Plumbing. If you've been holding off on replacing your AC unit, I urge you to make that decision now. The factories have warned all their dealers that HVAC equipment delays will get worse as demand exceeds production capabilities this summer. Don't wait until the peak of the summer heat to get your equipment replaced. Let's get your home ready now. We have great financing options available, including same as cash, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Call Delcor at 321-8868 or visit us at DelcorInc.com. Delcor, the service professionals.
Have you stopped doing your favorite activity due to chronic aches and pains? Let Eastern Physical Medicine and Rehab help. They provide regenerative injection therapy that can help with osteoarthritis, joint pain, carpal tunnel, and plantar fasciitis. Eastern Physical Medicine and Rehab will help you get back into the groove. Eastern Physical Medicine and Rehab, 2245 Stantonsburg Road, across from the hospital. Call 215-9294 for an appointment today.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this with purple.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hello, everyone. Welcome in to Pirate Radio Live here on a Friday. Clip Brock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios, coming to you on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We are on PR927FM.com. We're on 1250, 930, and you can watch the show on Facebook Live or on YouTube. Make sure you are subscribed to Pirate Radio TV on YouTube and see all of our videos there, including the latest edition of Pirate Radio Trivia, where Troy D went head-to-head with Jenny Shelton, and it got a little messy. Check that out if you have not seen that yet on YouTube, Pirate Radio TV. All right, we got a big show for you today, a lot to get to. Here on Pirate Radio Live, LSU has a head baseball coach. It is not Cliff Godwin. That is very good news. We will talk about that momentarily. Also talk about what's going on right now in Omaha as NC State goes by the hashtag Pac-9 for their baseball team. Today, it's Pac-13. They have 13 players available for their game in Vanderbilt. If you're just hearing about this, we'll explain why momentarily. We've also got a lot of guests to get to. Tony Dunn is here. We'll talk NFL in hour number one with Tony from CarolinaCatChronicles.com. At 4 o'clock, Malcolm Gray will join us on the show to talk ECU baseball, College World Series, and get a look around Major League Baseball as well. Mark Greenhelge, Golf Shop Radio Show, joins us at 4:40. We'll have an HV3 update for you, tell you what's going on in the Travelers Championship, and also recap the U.S. Open from last week. We will continue our ECU opponent previews for 2021 ECU football. Today we will talk to the play-by-play voice of the Appalachian State Mountaineers. Adam Whitten will join us on the program at 5 o'clock, give you an App State scouting report. At 5:25, we'll talk to the voice of Dowdy Ficklin Stadium and Minges Coliseum, Morgan Ahlers, and we will open up the Pirate Radio booty bag. It's Free Beer Friday. We got some Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade to give away today on the show. We'll make you a winner in hour 3. All right, so a lot of guests to get to, a lot of topics to talk about, and here to do so, I mentioned Tony Dunn, also Troy D hanging out on a Friday. What's up, fellas?
Good to see you guys. How are you?
I am fantastic. Tony?
I can't think of a clearer roadmap of the next 3 hours than what you just laid out.
I was going to say,
I like to lay it out.
This is a big show.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes 10 minutes just to lay it out.
I know exactly where we're going, though.
Yeah.
A lot of people score games at home with their scorebooks. A lot of people also keep up with who's on at what times at home.
I can see Ronnie Woodward at home, scoring.
With the nerd pen.
Yeah.
He's got it all in different colors.
Yeah. He's got the rundown ready to go.
All right. Glenn Griffin has the rundown ready to go. It is Big Dog Week.
Last day of Big Dog Week.
Yeah. How are you celebrating, Troy?
I'm celebrating by I wanted to be.
You wanted to be here. Okay.
The last day.
That's why he's here. We figured it out.
I thought it was for something else, but no. I wanted to be here for Big Dog Week on Big Dog Day.
Chandler asked, what shirt would you be today? I did not have green, but that is a nice green shirt you're rocking today. Lacoste.
Different color. Yeah.
Between Chandler, Big Dog, and me, we've got some pastels going on.
It is Easter egg day here in the studio.
We do. We have definitely summer vibes.
Chandler Honeycutt, his last day in Shirley's chair. Chandler, you almost made it through the week. How you doing today?
Sup, fellas?
All right.
I'm doing pretty good.
Very good. A little mincy there.
Wow.
And Tony, hair looking great as always.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So we're all set to go.
This is the first time I've seen this up close.
Do you want to touch it?
No, not really.
Like that umpire touch Max Scherzer?
Yeah.
You do have some type of product in there, don't you?
I got to, or else it's going to get all frizzy and afro-y.
Yeah, I didn't realize you are getting a little gray up there, though.
I had my first gray hair when I was in 8th grade.
Oh, okay.
Can you believe that? So I'm used
Go gray
to it.
early. You
So
are.
weird.
I'm used to it.
A touch of gray for Tony Dunn. All right, well, let's talk about the breaking news, or the news that has happened in the last hour or so. So NC State and Vanderbilt are supposed to be in about the 3rd or 4th inning right now. Instead, they have not gotten underway at Omaha yet, but they are about to in 3 minutes. NC State had at least one player test positive for COVID, and then you have to go to the whole contact tracing stuff, Troy D., that we talked about all last year. And now, after all that, they are playing the game. They have 13 players available for this game.
Yeah, it's almost like a Little League roster where just about everybody's going to play. And I was having lunch today with Brandon Manning, and he got the alert on his phone. And it literally told me, like, what happened, that there was a COVID positive test for NC State. And I had totally forgot, like, is that still a thing? Like, I was like, they're still testing for that? Like, I've kind of so moved on from COVID. Like, I was like, no, come on. Is that really, like, I thought we were beyond that. Like, but I guess they're still under those protocols.
And I believe if you haven't gotten vaccinated, you still get tested. Is the rule. So,
I would have figured those guys, especially at a team going to the World Series, would have been vaccinated by now.
Yeah.
Honestly.
There's no chance of them doing what the Cubs did yesterday.
Which is?
Throwing a no-hitter with 4 different pitchers.
Well, they do have 4 pitchers available. That is all they have available.
There is a possibility that it could happen.
4 pitchers are available, 13 players total. The guy that pitched that gem against Vanderbilt a few nights ago, Highfield, he is starting at first base today for NC State.
I feel like when ECU was in it, we put 4 pitchers in an inning at times.
Well, Troy, you mentioned that we could have a Maisie situation today, which is a Longhorn situation, which is pitching a position player.
Yeah, for you old school Pirates, he did that in the Super Regional down in South Carolina. How many years ago was that? Geez, I
was probably mid-2000s, I guess.
Yeah, and we all looked at ourselves like, what in the hell is going on here? But yeah, he sure did.
Talked to Mully earlier. He said Elliot Avent's going down his roster and saying, all right, did you pitch in high school? Did you pitch in Legion Ball? When's the last time you pitched? We might need you today against Vanderbilt. If there is some good news for the Pack, it's that they have to lose twice. So if Rocker, who is starting today for Vanderbilt, goes out and throws a gem, the Pack could still get them on Saturday, I guess.
What's the status of these guys going forward?
Good question.
And, when are they going to be available? And tough break for NC State. I mean, you know me, I'm no fan of the Wolfpack, but I will say they were hot. And if this had not happened, I think, man, they were right on the edge of being the final 2 teams here.
Yeah, there is a thing called NC State Bleep. We talked about it with Jeff Gravely.
Yeah.
And it is a real thing.
Starts with an S, ends with a T.
Good job there. Yeah. Spelling. Maybe we should get Troy in the spelling bee.
Probably be better at that than trivia.
Every time something good starts to happen for NC State, it comes crumbling down, whether it be a call, an injury, this time a pandemic, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. There's also Josh Woodson. I don't know who he's affiliated with. Might be those guys with Hayes Permar, the Sports Channel 8. Yeah.
The branch off of WRL.
Covers the ACC, NC State. He tweeted out a picture of Anthony Fauci in a Vanderbilt jersey and said presented without comment. So this thing, Troy, goes all the way to the top.
Yeah, that's pretty good right
Conspiracy theory.
The Whistler's involed.
That's gold.
What did the Whistler do?
Look, I don't wish
whistling.
I don't wish bad will on anybody, but if anyone was going to get COVID and get sick, it should be the Whistler. Let's be honest.
That's what I'm saying. The dude sat there spitting his particles
all over the people in front of him.
And from his appearance, I'm going to guess he's not vaccinated.
Was he on top of the NC State dugout? Was he in like row 1 whistling the other night?
He dressed up as a janitor in the dugout before the game.
What if he's the reason?
So this past week on the podcast clip, we talked about like what NFL players are going to have to do with vaccinations and the protocols that are going to go on for these teams. And just to relate it to what's going on with NC State, a lot of people have like reduced it down to, well, this is a personal choice that you should be able. You are a top athlete. You're probably very conscious of what you're putting into your body. So it's not like you're the most at-risk person. So if there is someone in the world who could forgo the vaccine, this would be an individual at that level. But then you start to think of what are the implications, though, for all the things you've worked for that season. Well, right? And that is, it's you get to this moment.
Well,
right
if this was a regular season game, it would be one thing. This is a College World Series, and you're approaching the finals.
If you win, you go to the final.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of kind of Mike Houston and his comments about it, where, and it's not like his personal feeling or belief on the vaccination. It's about, I don't want to have players out for football games again.
Right.
I want my guys to get vaccinated so we can go and have a normal practice season, a normal regular season. He doesn't want a Holton Ahlers situation to pop up or any of those things that happened last year.
You say it's a personal choice, but at the same time, if you are out, then there could be contact tracing, and then your roommates are out. Like
it's a team sport.
It becomes a team.
Which is why Troy said 10 minutes ago, I can't believe these guys aren't vaccinated at this point.
And where do you guys fall? I've had this conversation a lot this week on this debate, especially with Pirate fans. Do you pull for? I'm hearing.
No.
Hold on. No. Here's what I've heard from a lot of people. Well, I've got some friends that are state people, and they're in the state. They're close to us, so I hope they win. Or I hear from the other side, which I would fall in, and you guys would fall in, and go, under no circumstances are we pulling for NC State. I don't care how close they are. It doesn't matter.
Kinship with Vanderbilt because of the series we played against them. Over State?
This is something I've been thinking a lot about lately, is when you get beat by a team, do you cheer for the team that beat you?
So you can say,
like
for the Hurricanes, the Lightning.
We lost to the world.
But then I actually hate the Lightning.
Right.
So it's very hard.
Isn't it better for East Carolina, for Vandy to win the national championship at this point?
Yes, it's a lot easier to get on that because you hate NC State.
Yeah.
And you don't have State and Elliot Avent out recruiting the same guys we are, saying, hey, we're national champions.
Right. Yeah. I do not want State to win the national championship. I didn't wish COVID upon them, but I mean,
did you secretly do that, Troy?
Well, is that the
do you have more power than we know?
I'm not sad that this is an issue, but I did not wish this upon.
It's the new age voodoo doll.
Yeah, Troy's at home. Yeah, wishing he's got an Elliot Avent doll.
If we were in a similar situation, we'd be going with Ryder Giles and Zach Agnos as our.
I really wanted to do this, Glenn. Like have 13 players. I named 13 ECU players, and you put them in the positions you think they'd be in. Like, where would Gavin be? He said he's a former catcher.
Yeah.
If he can't pitch, do we put him in catcher?
He definitely can't catch. He's too tall.
I know. That's what I was thinking.
You can maybe DH him.
Troy's
going to steal 100 bases on that.
State guy's already thrown a wild pitch, but no, it's so early, nobody was on base yet.
Troy's boy, Jake Kuchmaner, has played first base.
I thought you might have put Cooch at catcher because he's caught in the bullpen.
He's left-handed. That would just look weird.
I'm just throwing it out.
He'd be hitting all the right-handed batters.
Look at their dugout. It almost looks empty.
Yeah.
This dugout almost looks exactly like the dugout from my kids' prep ball game last night at Guy Smith Stadium. They played at Guy Smith. They had 9. I mean, they hardly have any. They have just enough kids to play last night, and that's what the dugout looked like.
Are they masked?
No, not anymore. Mm-mm.
So I would guess everybody left is vaccinated. I guess is that.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just playing by protocols.
There's no more. I don't see mask anywhere.
This is devil. Nobody cared about it in the first place.
Yeah, there's
no. I'm just trying to put the devil into the details out there of the situation.
No, the masks are gone.
So NC State playing with 13 players today against Vanderbilt. They just started the game 1 out in the top of the first inning.
No double switches, or would you have a lot of double switches?
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to rotate guys around. You're going to have like a triple switch.
Yeah. And the State crowd is going nuts. They just got 2 ground outs, and it looks like it's the night that like everybody's going crazy.
Any success whatsoever.
Think about if they win this game.
I will say, I hate State, Troy, but I think you have agreed with me. The 30 for 30 with Jim Valvano in that run is one of the best.
It was.
It really brings you in.
As I said, doesn't mean I like them, but I have a lot of respect for what that 83
and that run was incredible.
And I remember as a kid watching it live. So in Raleigh, but
if they pull this out, get ready for another one.
This would be a baseball version.
13 for 30 or whatever. All right, let's move on. Cliff Godwin is the head coach of the Pirates. Troy D. And LSU has their man in Jay Johnson from Arizona.
And let's just put a little asterisk by this. Has there been any official announcement yet by LSU that says media reports?
Yes, there's been an official.
There has. Okay, I've been busy today and I hadn't seen anything from LSU.
There's been a graphic put out
by LSU. Okay, so it is official. Okay, because last night I always like to approach these with just a little touch of caution.
It came out an hour or two ago.
Okay. We got some LSU baseball.
We're calling it official then.
There it is,
yeah. So Jay Johnson's in the purple and gold now, which, everybody breathes a sigh of relief that wanted Cliff and I don't know anyone that wanted Cliff to leave, so, I think Pirate Nation is relieved. But let's be honest. There is an opening in Arizona, and is Cliff Godwin on that short list for Arizona? I have no information to say that, but it does sometimes offer a trickle-down effect.
There's a carousel. There are dominoes.
Yeah.
Right now, the opening is with the Arizona
Brian
Wildcats.
Bailey tweeted yesterday, the drama's over, and I was going to put, for now, until something else happens.
There's at least less drama, because you could seriously see Cliff Godwin going to LSU or Ole Miss.
Right.
And
I don't see him at Arizona.
Yeah.
No, he's not a West Coast guy.
No, unless they hire someone from the East Coast, and that opens up an East Coast job.
Right. The dominoes still could fall, but we feel a lot better.
But SEC is the main threat.
I got to give you credit. I know you worked hard on this. This was a team effort. Everybody's been trying to get Cliff to talk and discuss things. We actually kind of snuck over there today. Cliff had a team meeting, we understand, with the team at the facility. And we had a microphone recording this.
This is incredible.
I don't know, if we're really supposed to use this audio or not, but I've made an executive decision. That's why I wanted to be on here today, because I want to take the heat if we get in trouble for running this.
Is there a legal?
What are the rules about recording someone in the state of North Carolina? Do they have to be notified that they're being recorded?
You do in California.
You know what? We'll find out.
I'm not sure, but
Let's contact legal.
It's better to ask for forgiveness.
I know. It was such a powerful speech to hear what Cliff had to say to the team. And I was so excited that our team was able to get it. And I don't want to tell you how we got it, but we got it. But I have green lighted this clip, and I think this is tremendous. This is a great idea by everybody here, Glenn and yourself, and all the folks that were involved in securing this audio.
Chandler will say your name. I will.
It's like the Watergate tapes.
I think this is like really the first. I don't want to say.
Well, now you're implicated too, since you're here, Tony. You could be part of the lawsuit.
Is this like my lie that I didn't tell?
These are the first kind of private comments by Cliff Godwin we understand.
So this is Cliff Godwin talking to the team and announcing.
I believe this was earlier today.
With the big announcement to the ECU baseball team.
You know what? I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. The show goes on. This is my home. They're gonna need a wrecking ball to take me out of here. They're gonna need to send in the National Guard of SWAT team, because I ain't going nowhere.
Very emotional speech by Coach.
Players are hyped. Cliff's hyped.
They're into it.
He's staying.
Yeah.
He's back, baby.
Not going anywhere.
What a moment.
Great audio right there.
Hopefully ECU got video of that and they'll put it out later.
I hope so.
Yeah, because I would love to see the video.
Man, that would be incredible.
Well, we got video of you guys doing it too. So that's great video.
Yesterday we got the exclusive on the uni stuff for football. Today, audio exclusive from Coach.
He ain't effing leaving.
He ain't. You're gonna take the.
He ain't taking nowhere.
He's gonna take the National Guard to get him out of there.
So Cliff is a Pirate, and we just hope we don't see his name mentioned in the Arizona coaching search, Troy D, over the weekend. Stay tuned to Pirate Radio social media in case something does happen.
I am kind of glad. I was ready for it to be over one way or the other, honestly, because it is kind of draining. And I feel it for especially diehard Pirate fans and what they're going through. Going, not again. Are we dealing with this? But at least for now, it's over.
Yeah.
You know, the one thing about it, though, is that is what happens with success. True. We get to have these conversations in a good way.
We went over the names on Monday, Troy. It's been kind of few and far between since 2000, since 1990, of coaches that have left ECU because another school came after him.
It's nice to actually have a coach that somebody wants. You know,
usually it's ECU telling the coach to leave rather than the coach leaving on his own.
We look back at the list of chancellors since the 90s, and there wasn't a single chancellor that left because of greener pastures that was hired away.
Gosh, we just
either retired or fired.
The perception is ECU is a stepping stone school. The problem is nobody has really been able to use it as a stepping stone.
There's no step.
It's like
a slip.
A bear
they step off and fall over the cliff.
That first step's a real bear catcher.
Yeah. So anyway, there's the Cliff Godwin update. Next on the rundown, boy, Troy, what happened? What happened to Remax?
Man, I talked to Coach Scott. I'm counting on a firm bounce back. Allegedly, by the way, I didn't even mention this. Supposedly, this is going to be his last game in Little League. So he's leaving.
Is he taking the Arizona job?
Yeah. He is retiring from coaching. Now, this is what he tells me. He tells me he's going to be retiring from Little League coaching.
That's an exclusive
this year. Yeah. So this is his last game. If he wins tonight, Remax will have the championship 3 out of 4 years. If he loses, would he want to go out and loser like that? Or will he come back? Now, his son, Landon, is 12 years old, will be off the team next year. But is Corey Scott one of those guys that takes a couple years off and then it's still in his blood and he comes back, Clip Rock?
So Urban Meyer of Little League?
See, I think that's my guess is that it could be that type of situation. Yeah, he wants to spend more time with his friends and family.
Yada, yada.
Yeah, but it draws him back.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm really counting on him to win tonight because I put it out there that Remax is going to win. And I thought they'd do it in a sweep, but congratulations to the Host Lions Club.
Yes.
For a big win last night, setting up a classic. And look, if this was Major Leagues, this would be Game 7. This is the equivalent of Game 7 for all the marbles tonight. It is Game 3. Now, we'll have to watch the weather. There is it did storm through here quite bad. But that field, it drains pretty good, and they've got a pretty good crew out there. I'm sure they got everything covered. So I have not heard of any change for the championship tonight. Scheduled 7 p.m., Elm Street, Stallings Stadium, open to the public, no tickets necessary. Expecting a huge crowd out there tonight.
Well, there you go. The stage is set for Remax Host Lions Game 3.
One word, watch party, Clip.
That's like 3 words.
Oh, yeah, we'll be on...
Should we do a watch party for Little League Baseball?
It will be on the Facebook Live feed for Greenville Little League, too.
Yeah. Tony Dunn screaming out, Jack Hager, the hero!
He's a hero!
He's a hero!
You're going to remember this for the rest of time.
All right, next up, how about an HV3 update? And Harold needs to hit a couple birdies here. Hey, he just got one. Harold Varner III is 1 under today, day 2 of the Travelers Championship. Cut line looks like it's going to be at -2. Which is why I said he needs a couple of birdies. He just got one, needs another one to play on into the weekend. We will get an update later on this show with Mark Greenhill from the Golf Shop Radio Show. The Gooch is in first. Taylor Gooch. I don't know who that is.
Watch your language.
Can we say Gooch on the radio?
That's Mr. Gooch to you.
The way you were saying it made me feel like we should all know who that
You don't
was.
know the Gooch?
You don't know the Gooch?
I don't either. I like his name.
That should be his nickname, though.
The Gooch.
The Gooch.
Bubba Watson.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, it's got it.
Well, it's definitely his name. It should be his nickname, too.
Big Dog, you called the script earlier this week for Clippers and Suns. The Clippers always lose the first 2 games and then win Game 3. That's exactly what happened last night as they took care of business at home.
And I think it's probably over.
So the Suns are going to win the rest?
Suns in 5.
Okay, Suns in 5, according to Glenn Griffin. Coming up tonight, you've got the Bucks and the Hawks, Game 2 of that series, with the Hawks up 1-0.
What if that series is over before it even started?
Bucks will win it. What are you, Mark Lindsay?
Yeah, a little bit. I think the series was over a little bit.
Coach Budenholzer.
I can see it on your face, for sure.
Bucks win tonight and make it 1-1.
Where's NASCAR at this weekend, by the way, Clip?
NASCAR is doing a double dip, Troy D, at the Tricky Triangle. Is that Pocono? Pocono, they're racing tomorrow and Sunday. Remember last year during COVID to catch up, they would do like double headers?
Yeah.
So they're doing like short races Saturday and Sunday.
Are both these considered,
they're legit races. They count. So instead of making 2 trips this year to Pocono, they're doing it all in one weekend.
Okay, so we got it riding on both of them.
Yeah, I'm in 10 in the hole because Kyle Larson wins every freaking race.
Yeah.
But
road courses are different now.
Well, this is not a road course.
What is this?
This is a
triangle? Okay, yeah. But that's kind of unique.
Yeah, that's different than anything else.
It's not an oval.
So they'll run on Saturday at 3 o'clock and Sunday at 3:30 at Pocono. So there you go.
Those guys like running back to back like that. Although a lot of them run in the other series anyway.
Yeah.
So why not
spend a weekend at in Pocono? All right, that's it for segment 1. Troy D, you in or out?
I'll let you guys take it from here.
I don't know if we have any Bears news to discuss. We're going to talk some NFL next segment.
Hopefully not. It's probably only bad news if you did.
Good point. Yeah. It is no news is good news season for the NFL. Steelers cut a Pro Bowl guard. We will talk about that. Also, Tony, the NFL, and I don't know why they're waiting a year on this, but in 2022, they will start allowing teams to have a secondary helmet color for like throwback games, color rush games. So we'll talk about that. What color would the alternate Panthers helmet be?
And I heard you say, why wait a year? Why not just start it this season?
Great.
They should have done it like 10 years ago, and they should be more than 2 colors.
Yeah, let's make it 8 colors.
I mean, even the ECU has like 3 helmet colors.
Yeah.
You tell me the NFL can't do it
They
this year?
did do it, and they stopped it when they switched from Reebok to Nike.
So
there's something with the Nike deal, and they wanted everything to be uniform helmet-wise.
They say it's health and safety related. I think they just want to save money on making a new helmet.
Probably.
But I don't know. All right, we'll talk about what's going on with the Panthers, NFL, and more when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Do you find yourself hungry, but looking for some new and different options? Then the Bodega Market Cafe in Uptown Greenville is for you. They offer a full-service menu featuring breakfast, lunch, and dinner, also with a variety of unique vegan selections. Dine in or sit outside in their great outdoor dining area. Plus, they're always ready for pickup or delivery. Open 24/7 for your convenience. The Bodega Market Cafe, located in Uptown Greenville, across from the BB&T.
Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. At Grifols, it adds up fast. New donors can earn up to $1,000 in your very first month. It's the easiest way to make extra money. Start now at Biomat USA, 505 South Memorial Drive, Greenville. Find your donor center at grifolsplasma.com. Make up to $1,000 in a month and save lives now at Grifols Biomat USA. A better donor experience and better pay.
Hey Birdland, Orioles 2021 single game tickets are on sale now for all games June through September at Orioles.com/tickets. Single game options are flexible and affordable with individual tickets starting as low as $15. You can choose from popular promo dates and fan favorite giveaways, including bobbleheads, t-shirts, caps, and more. Simply select your dates and purchase tickets now at Orioles.com/tickets. That's single game tickets as low as $15. Available to all fans now at Orioles.com/tickets.
This is East Carolina head football coach Mike Houston, and I'm proud to announce that our ladies clinic is back this summer on July the 30th. This evening will provide a behind-the-scenes look at ECU football and a chance to meet the players, coaches, and their families. The evening will end with an entertaining dinner and social. Sign up today at MikeHoustonFootballCampsLLC.com. We look forward to seeing you there. Go Pirates!
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by GolfKnickers.com, the world's leader in traditional golf apparel. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Nat Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Wait up. Papa John's has a new stuffed crust. Oh, we did it. All our tweets, DMs, and carrier pigeons worked. This ain't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Stuffed.
Hey, Pirate fans, order the new Epic Stuffed Crust one-topping pizza for only $12. And now you can have the stuffed crust as an add-on to any large hand-tossed pizza. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
This is Stephen Igo. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on hoistthecolors.net. Now, get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
This is Dr. Phil Perdue with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. My colleagues and I recognize how difficult this time is for everyone in our community. We continue to see patients during the week while taking precautions to keep everyone safe. Our extended care clinic is now open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., so you can avoid the emergency department for your urgent orthopedic care. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
This is Coach Steve Shankweiler, offensive line coach for East Carolina University football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. Start now at Biomat USA on 505 South Memorial Drive. A better donor experience and better pay. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Summer vacation spots are right here in our very own backyard. Take a trip to State Park and enjoy traditional camping, RV space, and also air-conditioned cabins that can be rented with Wi-Fi. If you're by a lake, be sure to check out the opportunities to rent a canoe or kayak and get on the water. Your next adventure is right around the corner. For more information, please visit ncstateparks.gov. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, starting to have Angels in the outfield feel to this state game.
Speaking of NC State parks,
Devontae Brown, NC State right fielder, just made one of the best catches you'll want to see, and laid out full extension. And I don't know, sometimes like in sports, these things happen where a team has everything taken away from them, and they come up with a unbelievable performance. Thing about like Brett Favre when his father died and was like throwing with his eyes closed behind his back, and everything was being caught for touchdowns on that Monday night game. NC State's starting to have one of those feelings right now. They're in the second inning, no score, and Vanderbilt batting.
That's the angle right there. I tell you, he reaches back for it in full extension.
That was beautiful.
It was one of those deals where you're like, all right, when's the ball going to drop? And you just see him like keep running, and then you just see him literally he literally flew through the air and made an unbelievable catch.
Down to 12 players now because he's got 3 broken ribs.
Yeah. Tony immediately said we're down to 12. Sorry, son, you're gonna have to play.
Was he slow to get up?
No, he's fine.
No, it was just, I mean, he, like you said, he laid out for it.
He went full extension on that one. All right, Tony, let's talk NFL Panthers news here on a Friday. Is there any Carolina Panthers news?
No, it's a good news for the Panthers right now. I haven't heard anything. Brady Christensen, their 3rd-round pick, signed. Other than that, it's been slow from what I've heard.
Also signed Terrace Marshall Jr. as well.
The receiver?
Yes. So
from LSU, yeah.
So, they finalized in those final details with the agents, and I think there's only some small things they can really negotiate with these top picks in their rookie contracts.
Tony, we've talked about this in the past. When NFL players get hurt, it's always like, all right, well, what's the timetable? He's going to come back fine. We don't really think about like it happening to us, like if, in this case, David DeCastro was released by the Steelers, and he's talking about his injury, and he said, I have to get surgery on my ankle a 3rd time. I tried to fix it last year, but the bone spurs kept coming back. It nagged me pretty bad all last year. Like, we just assume that, okay, what does it say that, how long is this going to take before you're back on the field? That's what we think about. So he's talking about a 3rd surgery on the same ankle, trying to get it right to fix it. And none of these things are a given that you're going to be back 100%. And this shows the side of the business of football that they love this guy. He's a Pro Bowler. He's been there for a while, but you can't get on the field, you're unfortunately not of any use to us. You're gone.
I think the injury reports came about because of the kind of links for gambling, right?
Yep.
It's like for us to know what these players are going through to make these more informed decisions about something that wasn't even really legal at the time. Now,
and if you fudge the injury report like a Belichick will do every now and then, you get fined. There are consequences to that.
and those reports and the way that they word them and the timetables have made it very prescriptive for us as fans to think, all right, this guy got this injury, it's a 3-week recovery. And, or you'll hear crazy things like ACL or something, and then now it's 6. It used to be 8 or whatever it is.
Adrian Peterson came back, ran for 2,000 yards, and kind of ruined it for everybody with an ACL injury because now we expect that to happen every time.
And you're right. So you don't think about how these bodies have to go through this wear and tear all the time. And, the big guys, those lower body injuries for the big guys, there's a lot of weight. They got a lot of weight that they're carrying around on that. So it's difficult. A foot injury, an ankle injury for like a guard like this is something that can nag. And you also, it shows you too that you can't just fix everything with the surgeon every single time right away. And it's just you're back to normal. And these major type injuries where a guy's going to have to get surgery, there's going to be prolonged rehab time and questions about what it will look like when they do come back from that anyway. All of a sudden you have to start thinking about that when you're in the latter end of the contract years with a player, and maybe you could free up some salary cap room and maybe get a more stable option. I believe they signed Trey Turner.
So they go from Pro Bowler to 5-time Pro Bowler. That is good news. The downside here is injuries with Trey Turner.
Yep.
So he was great for the Panthers, goes to the Chargers. He goes 9 games last season, Tony, because of a groin injury. Said he's back to 100%. We shall see. But he's 28 years old, which again is young in real life. It's getting up there in NFL life.
He's a 5-time Pro Bowler?
5-time Pro Bowler.
Wow.
I think it was his first 5 seasons almost.
Yeah.
Where his, maybe after his first year, his second, third, fourth, and fifth year.
So when remind me, guys, when he left the Panthers, that was a money decision? Like, were you upset? We
traded for Russell Okung.
He was a trade. Yeah, he's part of a trade.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Turner had 3 years still left on his deal. He was approaching the years of his contract where he was getting expensive. And in his final 2 years with the Carolina Panthers, he was also struggling with some nagging injuries, different ones each time it felt like. But, he started to show some wear and tear. And it does, when you hear he's 28 years old, that's wild because I think he was drafted in 2013. I mean, he's been in the league for a while now. These young guys, they're coming in younger and younger. But we did trade him for Russell Okung, and it was sort of a salary contract switch for that initial year. But then they had to deal with the final 2 years of Trey Turner's contract, and that's why I think they released him too, because of a money thing and like these injury related concerns. Russell Okung, I think, is without a job right now, or maybe semi-retired.
He's been around a long time. Might be about that time.
He might have to come back as you watch those Bitcoin prices fluctuate this week.
Yeah, he's paid in Bitcoin. Is that right?
Yeah,
part of his.
He's still up 30% from the time they announced it. And at one point, there was he was the highest paid player in the league last year because of the way the Bitcoin price surged.
Tony Dunn here, Chandler Honeycutt, Panthers fan. Glenn, where I've seen some tweets. Where is your fandom lie in 2021 for NFL?
I mean, I think I'm probably a football team.
You're a football team guy.
Yeah, I think I'm a football team guy.
Man,
I thought about it, and I think.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Do you switch every year? Is that a thing?
You've never really.
I've been flirting with the football team for 2 years now.
You've never been diehard for anybody, have you?
Not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just kind of float around.
Why is that? Was it when Luke Kuechly went and gave them the speech and maybe potentially joined their coaching team that attracted you?
Because that did happen. Luke Kuechly is now more of a member of the football team.
He's in the Ring of Honor for the Washington
than he
football
is the Panthers.
I mean,
I'm still
the organizational parts of the Panthers that I really liked are now and Washington.
And Washington and Buffalo?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And so those are kind of the two teams that I like. I'm loaded up with Buffalo players on fantasy football, and
true. Yeah.
I like the football team.
It's the Buffalo Panthers and the Washington or the Carolina football team.
Yeah, it gets really murky when you have to add a football team.
We sent all the bad parts to the Giants.
Glenn became a football team fan when they changed their name, clearly.
No,
it was with the coach. It was definitely Rivera. The hiring of Rivera that was a move.
It was his ample chest.
I just felt like he was not exactly done right in Carolina, and it was at the end of a string of people not being done right. And at that point, I was right done. You know,
I like that.
He won't done right, and you were right done.
Yeah, I mean that's what happened.
I think Rivera is one of the rare cases of like, yeah, I could see why he get fired, and yeah, I could see why he get hired right away.
I mean that's I think it's a truly good person.
No, I don't. You know? It would be tough. Like, and I say this as I like Rivera with the Panthers, but like as a Braves fan, it's hard for me to find a reason why somebody would hate Freddie Freeman. Right, like, he seems like the most likable guy ever.
Sure.
And Ron Rivera, it would be in that category. I'd love to just poll everybody NFL's fan bases and say, "Do you like Ron Rivera?
Like
yes or no?"
If you ask me, what NFL coach could rise within the league offices when he's done, he's probably number one.
Well, then we'd have to hate him, though.
I know, but I'm just saying he could.
Yeah.
I mean, NFL Commissioner Ron Rivera.
Foul ball called. The NC State third base coach did not like that call, Tony. Does he have a gripe?
It looked like it at first.
It hit the base.
It's on the back side. I think it's out.
I saw some white chalk, but it's like it looked like it hit the.
There is some angels in the outfield mess going on.
Can you review? You can't review that, can you?
I thought it hit the. Did it not hit the base?
No.
No, it was behind the base. I think it's a foul ball. I mean, at first it looked close.
The umps are talking it over. It is 0-0 in the second inning in Omaha. Let's get another break in. We'll come back. We'll have more with Tony Dunn here in hour number 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Coming up in hour 2, Malcolm Gray going to join us to talk some baseball. We'll talk some golf with Greeny, Harold Varner III, 1 under par through 14 today. And he needs to get to 2 under. That is where the cut line is, at least right now, at the Travelers Championship. We'll talk to Greeny about that. We will also talk to Adam Whitten, voice of Appalachian State. In hour 3, Morgan Ahlers will join us as well as they reverse the call.
I think so.
Where do they put the runners? Oh, there's a
mark.
There's a mark on the foul line. And some chalk flew up. We'll see what happens here. We'll talk more about that when we return after this.
In a world of fake profiles, fake tans, and fake flavors, naturally flavored Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer strives for realness. It's USDA certified organic, with no sugar or carbs, and only 80 calories. So the only thing touching your taste buds is organic, refreshing, and delicious. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri 63118.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Ready to travel and take a trip this summer? Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has recently added more American Airlines flights. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
You've worked hard to start your business and working even harder to make it successful. And that's why it's important to have a bank in your corner when you need them. This is former ECU baseball player Ashley Capps from Select Bank and Trust. And as the business world throws you curveballs, we're here to be responsive to your needs. Our team of local bankers can make local decisions and cares about you, the customer. Get the business services that are right for your business today with Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select, member FDIC.
North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Megan State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov.
The whole family's home. It's almost time to eat again, but you don't feel like cooking again. So close the microwave, put away that box of instant whatever, drop your spatula, pick up the phone, and get a Big Bow box delivered with 8 pieces of legendary fried chicken, fluffy buttermilk biscuits, fixins, and tea. Because no one ever said a home-cooked meal has to be cooked at home. Just tap your favorite delivery app for a Big Bow box at your front door. And it's bow time.
This is Brandon Tate. I'm 46 years old, and I'm in the best shape of fitness levels and faiths. Join the F3 Nation today and see and feel the difference for yourself. One letter, one number, F3. Learn more today at f3enc.com and on Twitter at F3ENC.
Introducing Tommy Club, the best car wash value anywhere. Starting at just $19.99 a month, you can wash your car as often as you like, and also take advantage of our express lanes exclusively for Tommy Club members. You can enjoy a gentle belt conveyor ride to a spot-free shine faster and as often as you like when you're a member of Tommy Club. Plus, our vacuums and mat washers are always free. We're Tommy's Express.
Tommy's Express Wash, now open on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road in Greenville.
E&S Hemp Company in Winterville is your premier CBD store. At E&S Hemp Company, they have helped hundreds of people just like you get relief from joint pain, anxiety, insomnia, and more by providing you the highest quality of CBD products available. E&S Hemp Company has a great selection of only the safest, purest, and most beneficial hemp-infused products available, from honey, tea, coffee, candles, and more. E&S Hemp Company, Fire Tower Road in Winterville, and online at eshempcompany.com.
This is ECU basketball coach Joe Dooley, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
Here we go.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. Start now at Biomat USA on 505 South Memorial Drive. A better donor experience and better pay. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. For the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner, be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PR927FM. Join the close to 50,000 followers today at PR927FM. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live. Tony, you said something earlier in Hour 1 that I was unaware that even happened last night. The Cubs throwing a combined no-hitter. 4 pitchers combining to no-hit the Dodgers. One of the best, if not the best lineup in all of baseball. So Cubbies 42-33 on the year. Playing good there in the NL Central, right?
I want to talk about my Washington Nationals, by the way. I saw a stat that back in 2019, when they made that miraculous run to the World Series, they hit the 500 mark in Game 80 of the season. They just hit the 500 mark at Game 72. And also, Kyle Schwarber is just absolutely crushing the baseball right now. It's unbelievable.
Former Cubby, Schwarbs. Right now in Omaha, no score between NC State and Vanderbilt. Just had a long delay for the coaches to talk about a ball that was hit down the line that they called foul, that replay appeared to show to be fair, although I don't think you can replay that, although they did replay it. And I don't know what the hell the call ended up being. They said it was a foul ball, even though you could see the ball crater in the chalk. So strange call there.
It was strange too, because then they sent they reversed the call, sent the guy back out to second, and then we were talking about how do you determine what base he should go to at this point. And then they decided to reverse the call again because it was a non-reviewable play. Is it Tim Corbin who's their coach? Because he came out.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah, he came out and argued and advocated for his team in this case. And then guess what, folks? The Vandy strike zone is back as a low and outside pitch called strike to get out number 3.
So NC State goes down in the second. We move on to the third with no score between the Vandy boys and the Pac-13. Tony, NFL coming out, or the story came out this week that the NFL will allow teams to now have 2 different helmets during the season. They say this was a player safety issue. They wanted a player to have the same helmet, specifically made for him all year long. Why they couldn't duplicate that into 2 helmets, I don't know. Maybe they're lazy. But they will allow now alternate helmets, throwback helmets coming up in 2022. We talked about it yesterday, the Redskins, and I recall the game. It was week 3, 2008, trying to get to 3-0 against the Giants, and they rocked the old Lombardi-era Redskins helmets, which were gold with the red R, burgundy R, and look really cool. I hadn't been able to wear those in a while. Glenn also brought up when the Redskins wore like leather-looking helmets, a weird brown helmet that they wore. So now teams, here's the, which is tough to see there, Tony, but the gold helmets the Redskins wore, which were pretty cool that year. Have the Panthers ever worn a non-silver helmet?
I don't know if they have. I can't.
Chandler says no. I can't think of one.
At one point, too, it was like Jerry Richardson was against like changing it, too. Like he was one of the people that was saying like, let's just keep, because he liked the one.
He was old school.
Yeah, the shield on the on the 50-yard line, but.
Yeah, he liked Jeans Friday too. That was his
did
one.
Like that, and feet.
He had to bring that up.
The other thing though about this is that we've had the Carolina Panthers have some of the coolest color combos when they rock that black on black, and so the one thing that's been lacking is the black on black with a black helmet going. You could do,
and like Glenn said earlier in the week, I think it was yesterday on yesterday's show, that it's like a panther, like be just go all black like a panther.
Yeah,
I mean, it kind of gives it the vibe, like of the statues, like where it's all black with like the blue eyes. I think it's that kind of vibe.
Yeah, you could do maybe some blue trim somewhere or something. I mean, there's
that would work.
Good colors.
Call it a Rule Conda.
Tony,
I like it.
What was your take on? You remember the Thursday night game? It was Cam's last year here. Actually, his last game as a Panther. Thursday night against the Buccaneers, we went black pants, blue tops. What did you think about those?
They were just okay.
I like the black pants, white tops.
Oh wow!
You like that?
I think that is flames. That is flames.
I
think that is a tough look, especially with the silver helmets.
I don't.
If you had a black helmet, it would look even better.
I don't even know. So
it would even it out.
My favorite is black pants, black jersey. But the problem is that it seems like Carolina always wears these in big games, and
it's also
they
hot.
Don't play well.
If you wear it
we haven't won a lot in this.
If you wear it before Halloween, it's hot.
Yeah.
So Joe Gibbs era Redskins always wore white at home, while other teams would wear color at home. Cowboys would go white at home too.
Panthers
but
always
the Panthers go white at home
to start the season,
and that is due.
Oh, and then it changes later.
That's
wow.
You never noticed that?
No, I haven't kept up with it enough. I should. Now I will be watching.
Watch the first 3 or 4 away or home games, and we're in white. And then you'll also see, like, usually we play like the Buccaneers like week 2 or 3, and then we'll wear like our blue uniforms at Tampa Bay.
So like competitive advantage. Really thinking about it.
Basically. And if you notice, we don't wear the black; we wear the blue.
Okay.
So maybe 2022 could be the year where we see finally, for the first time ever, a different Panthers helmet color. That would be weird.
I really wish we were talking about it being this year.
I know.
That way we can kind of talk about, hey, what are we going to wear this week?
I know you're going to have to remind me about all these jersey things that I have to keep up with, because we have a whole year before we can get to, or more than a year.
You know what I
to
hate
see
now?
these changes.
I have a question that you guys probably. I didn't know this until right now.
All right.
Right now.
Why are you looking? You're messing up the whole bit.
Big Dog Week.
I wasn't going to say anything.
On a bad note.
Chandler's cheating.
Like you were supposed to be part of the deal, Chandler. You're like, let me see the answers.
Cheating.
All right. Let's go.
Like Jenny with the trivia. Listen. I'm so frustrated. Did you know that originally, when the Panthers were first announced, that the jerseys that came out at the press conference were blue with silver numbers?
Like the teal blue? Or like a Carolina blue?
It's almost like a Detroit Lions blue.
Where did you see that?
Wow.
I will send out the link.
Yeah.
Send it.
I will send that out.
I don't know if I like that. I'm glad we didn't go with that.
It is different. It is a very different blue than what we were looking up. I looked up Panthers silver jersey, and that's how I got there.
Okay.
Whoa. I wonder.
A silver jersey like Seattle does sometimes.
What is that?
Would be nice.
That's not real, is it, Glenn? Is that what you're looking at? Or
no, that's not it.
Those were like our when we got.
Where are they? Look at that. They're like in a library in that.
Those are the ugliest jerseys of all time.
Be quiet.
The Panthers have changed their logo very slightly, right? That's like the only thing they've done different in
they changed
their
the logo and they changed the blue.
And they've been around, what, 25 years?
Yeah.
The blue's evolved over the years.
Yeah. So they have not had a lot of alterations to their uniform and colors. They rock that blue every now and then, the black.
I never want to see the all blue. I don't like the color rush blue action.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's too much. It's kind of like ECU's all purple. It's just too much of one color. I only like it when it's a basic. Like I like an all white. I think is a clean look, or an all black.
I think this shows too how powerful the NFL is because like they know that you're going to watch no matter what, so they haven't had to go crazy with jersey experimentation, trying to cater to, what the younger groups are doing as much.
They haven't had to be Oregon.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. Also, is it true? Who told me, it might have been you, Glenn, but is it true that if you change your number this year, so the NFL is letting different players wear, single-digit numbers and things like that, if you do that, you have to buy up like all the inventory of the jerseys you have?
This is true.
I believe I read that and saw that on Twitter.
They have to buy it all out of the team store. It's either the team store. I hope it's not the NFL store. Imagine, but they do have to buy any excess.
That is.
It does look like a Detroit Lions jersey.
It's like Carolina blue, and the silver
is not the same silver.
It's like shiny. That's
don't bring those back.
That is very ugly. I will say that
we don't want that throwback Thursday game. Again, and it'll be against the Texans too, so we'll have another reason not to watch it.
Did we play in those?
No, that was for the inaugural press conference or whatever to announce.
There really isn't a throwback jersey for us unless we change the logo.
They're going to wear those ugly ones.
So you would go to the silver numbers. There's no stripe on the helmet.
And let the jersey be baggy like that. And
you would get so many holding penalties on the other team because they'd just be constantly grabbing you. They couldn't help it. Well, so I think baggy jerseys in football could reverse the trend, and so maybe you want to get held.
That would be annoying. Holding penalties.
That way you just are constantly, the opposing player is constantly getting called for a flag.
Well, Tony, it's pouring down rain.
Flag on the weather.
So I got to leave.
You got to go.
Thanks.
Yep. C3 podcast every Tuesday throughout the off season. Tony and I will be talking NFL here on Fridays, and I tell you what, we'll might start our Friday football fan previews up next Friday. We like to talk to fans of opposing teams, get a preview of the season. Maybe we'll bring that back starting next Friday.
I like it.
Give us some teams to break down. Tony, thanks for hanging out, man.
Thank you.
Malcolm Gray joins us next. We will talk about what's going on in Omaha, NC State, Vanderbilt. We'll talk about the LSU coaching search coming to its conclusion. What's Arizona looking at? We'll talk Cliff Godwin and MLB as well with Malcolm Gray. It's all ahead on Pirate Radio Live, Hour 2 on the way after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsey Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, a wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique Brew Pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink responsibly.
At Tiebreakers, we pride ourselves on serving
big, juicy wings.
I'm talking
big and juicy.
Our chickens are the same ones that kick sand in the other chickens' faces. If our chickens played football, they'd be linebackers. The competition's chickens, they'd be
skinny little kickers.
Trade those kickers in for linebackers.
Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates.
University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. They thank you for your continued support and trust during these trying times. Many services can be done remotely and free pickup and delivery is available. As a Dell business partner and Apple authorized service provider, you can count on University PC Care for all your personal and business tech support needs. To make a remote appointment or to bring in your device for service at their Greenville or New Bern locations, call 558-1280 or go online at universitypccare.com.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
While you're sleeping, our whole hogs are slow cooking over wood to create that bite that Eastern North Carolina is known for. I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have been the torchbearers for what whole hog barbecue is supposed to be. At Sam Jones, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors. Everything, and I mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Come on over and see us at Sam Jones Barbecue, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. Sam Jones Barbecue, Fire Tower Road.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. Jersey Mike's is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Order in store online through the Jersey Mike's app. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live here on a Friday. We will continue our ECU football opponent previews coming up at 5 o'clock with Adam Witten. He's the play-by-play voice of the Appalachian State Mountaineers. He'll join us in about an hour from now. Also, in Hour 3, Morgan Ahlers. Later on in this hour, we will talk some golf with Greeny, Mark Greenhell's Golf Shop Radio Show, and some good news. I said HV3 needed a couple of birdies. Well, he's gotten them. Harold Varner III now 2 under par through 15. So he's on 16 at 2 under, and right now the cut line is 2 under. So HV3 looking to try to play into the weekend. We will keep you updated on that as well. No score between Vanderbilt and NC State as they will head to the 4th inning in Omaha. But the story of the day with this game is what State has available and doesn't have available. Just 13 players in the dugout today for NC State. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more with Malcolm Gray, who joins us on the Fixed NC live line from ECU Baseball Media Relations. Malcolm, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Cliff. How are you guys today?
We're doing great, Malcolm. It has been a year of things we've never seen before, oddities with everything COVID-related and trying to play sports during a pandemic. And, man, we saw it hit ECU football with Holton Ahlers having to be out due to what turned out to potentially be a false positive test. We saw Temple football almost not play East Carolina, so it's reared its ugly head in many different ways. But how about what happened to NC State today, Malcolm? It's crazy to play not just a baseball game, but a college baseball game, a College World Series baseball game with just 13 active players. NC State up against it today against Vanderbilt.
Yeah, it is. This is one of the most bizarre things. I started hearing about it about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, like everybody else, waiting to watch the game, and then all of a sudden they're delayed because of health and safety protocols, and there apparently were rumors that JT Jarrett, who is the second baseman, had come down and he wasn't feeling good, I guess, yesterday or even earlier on in the week after I think they won the first game versus Vanderbilt, and then all of a sudden now you have. I mean, they're playing with 13 players, 9 positional guys, and 4 pitchers, and basically they're, all their studs are done. I mean, I say done. They're not playing today. We'll have to see how it all shakes out tomorrow because there could be a chance that some are false positives and some of the guys for NC State can come back. But man, you fight your whole season. This is what it's about. You get to the College World Series, and they're sitting in a perfect position, being up 2-0. So. They've got a game to play with, but you don't want to have to deal with that. And right now we're, like you said, we're in the 4th inning and it's scoreless, and NC State's looking pretty good still.
NC State has the only hit of the day, and that came from their pitcher from a few nights ago, who had the dominant performance against Vanderbilt, Highfield. And Malcolm, I believe that was his first AB of the season, and he goes up there and hits one opposite field for a single.
Yeah, it was his first AB, and he apparently came into at NC State as a two-way player. But obviously he's more known for this year with pitching, and obviously he had a great game against Vanderbilt in the last outing. That NC State played in as well as he did. But it's great to see. I mean, these are kind of stories that you don't ever want to hear about, but this could be really good for NC State. The cardiac pack. Rises again type deal, and right now no one's thinking they got a shot in at all.
Yeah.
To win this game, and you're 3 innings through, and you're sitting right there with one of the best teams in the country and one of the best pitchers in the country.
Malcolm Gray joining us on the Fixed NC live line. So, Malcolm, it's Vanderbilt, NC State. The Wolfpack have been on quite a run, as has Mississippi State, the Bulldogs, in the driver's seat as well. So, as we break down here with this Final Four, Malcolm, you know what State's up against today. Vanderbilt with Rocker going, State undermanned, and Jack Leiter apparently probably ready to go if Vanderbilt can survive this one. How do you kind of handicap it the rest of the way? Who's the favorite right now, in your opinion, left in Omaha?
Well, unfortunately, even with everything that's going on with NC State, if Vanderbilt finds a way to win this game today, on this side of the bracket, I like Vanderbilt. I mean, I said from the beginning I thought Vanderbilt, Texas might be the 2 teams playing in the national championship. But both of them are teams 1 loss away from being eliminated, and so it's going to be interesting to see Mississippi State, Texas game tonight if they play. I'm thinking there's supposed to be. I'm hearing there's supposed to be a lot of heavy storms coming through tonight, so they might not be able to play. But that should be a very good game as well. It's interesting, and all 4 of these teams, anybody can win it. But if I had to put money on it, I'd say Vanderbilt and Texas still. That's what I started with the World Series with. That's what I'm going with.
Malcolm's 2 teams still alive as Texas won late night. I actually fell asleep before that game started last night in Omaha as they were up late and playing again tonight, right, Malcolm? A doubleheader today. It'll be Mississippi State and Texas later on today?
Yes, that is correct.
Right.
And again, obviously, it's been moved back a couple hours because of the start of this one. So I think it's probably going to be at 8 o'clock Eastern time first pitch instead of being 7:07.
Malcolm Gray joining us. Malcolm, let me point this out before I forget it because I was bugging you. I texted you about Pirates playing summer ball, and there is a great tool on ECUPirates.com. If you go to the baseball page, put your cursor on more, you will see 2021 summer ball, and there is a nice, neat, nifty list of all the players playing in summer ball, including Carson Wisenhunt, who's playing for Team USA. Unfortunately, Malcolm, and it's been awesome in years past to see Burley and was it Pack and Agnos as well playing with Team USA. And this year they're only going to play against each other. It's basically Stars versus Stripes, USA versus USA. Not going to play international teams, but that is still a great honor for Carson Wisenhunt.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. And you're right that what they're doing this year is they're going to do 2 teams of 24, and they will play each other around with Major League Baseball, with the Appalachian League that used to be the Appalachian League. I'm not sure how it's all working now, but they're going to be playing up and down, the East Coast and playing games, and they're going to be seeing individuals who are their peers, the best of the best of college baseball, and there's a good chance probably some of the guys that are playing in this World Series that are still left will be on one of these 2 teams, either Stars or Stripes. But for Carson, it's a great honor, I know. And, he has a chance to, again, play against the best, be coached by the best, out there. I think Elliot Avent is the head coach. Kevin Sullivan is from Florida, is going to be the pitching coach. So he's going to work with Carson Wisenhunt. We'll get a chance to work with him and just play baseball, and you're going to be seen by a lot of scouts, things like that, which is kind of what this is for.
Malcolm, a couple players in the Cal Ripken League. That's the one that Alec Burleson tore up a few years ago. A couple players in the Cape Cod League with Agnos and Moylan. 4 players in the Coastal Plain League, and then you got 8 in the Valley League. Alec Makaravich playing for the Wilmington Sharks. Brandon Manning, former Pirate, was in the Pirate Radio studios earlier today. Said he dropped a bomb last night. So fun to keep up with these guys, Malcolm. And really, it can lead to some success because some of these guys did not get a lot of ABs or did not get a lot of innings during the ECU season because there were players ahead of them. So this is an opportunity to get more ABs in and play against good competition. And for Burley's case specifically, his between his freshman and sophomore year, he came back to ECU and just never missed a beat. He stayed hot the remainder of basically his career here at East Carolina. So this could lead to some big things, these summer wood bat leagues.
Oh, no doubt. And Burley continued it after ECU with their
good point. Yeah,
but yeah, you're absolutely right. It gives a chance for these individuals, like you look at a Joey Rezick, a Jacob Starling, CJ Boyd, guys, and Cam Clonch, guys who haven't had a chance to play a lot this year just because the natural order of things, with the COVID this past year, ECU was able to have a roster of 40, so you had a bunch of guys that remained who did not get drafted or who did not decide to leave or anything like that. So it's a chance for them to get out there and get ABs, get innings, understand again, they understand the game, but, get into situations that you typically wouldn't get into, and it's a chance just to keep playing. If they weren't playing, they'd be back here in Greenville going through, getting ready to go to summer school and working out. So this is a chance for them just to keep playing. They're playing, majority of these leagues are all wood bat leagues, so they're getting a chance to learn how to hit with wood and stuff like that for, the next step if they get to that level.
Malcolm Gray joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Malcolm, Cliff Godwin remains the ECU head baseball coach. That is positive news as Jay Johnson hired by LSU on Thursday to take over that job. And, it's been an interesting week and a half, Malcolm, with the Ole Miss decision to bring back Mike Bianco, and he stays there, does not go to LSU. LSU makes a hire, and Cliff's name was out there. We still haven't heard an official statement or comment from Cliff Godwin, but he's been recruiting for the Pirates. He was at Rose Conley the other night at their showdown, which Jay's Rose won. So, again, been kind of an interesting few days, but the dust has settled at least for that. Now we'll have to see what Arizona does with their coach opening.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's when you have these high caliber jobs like an LSU, like a TCU, or a Texas A&M, and hiring away TCU's head coach. When you have a lot of these high big profile programs, in need of a head coach for one reason or another, retirement, they got fired, they took another job, the domino effect starts. And Coach Godwin, everything that he's done at East Carolina in his 7 years, 6 actual seasons, he's done stuff that no one else has done at East Carolina, taking the Pirates to 3 super regionals, won 3 regional championships. He's won 4 total conference championships, 2 in the tournament, 2 regular season. And, he's doing things that no one's been done, and it's getting noticed. And we all know even before, Cliff got here, ECU was a big baseball program, still is. And so when you have success on the field, all of a sudden you start getting noticed, people start having interest in you. And, for one reason or another, when it's all said and done with, I'm happy Cliff's still here. I have a coach that I love working with, so and the fans love, the players love, and stuff like that. So it's really nice knowing that we don't have to worry about a coaching search or anything like that. But at the same time, we always wish people who are at ECU the best if something comes about. So right now we're thanking our lucky stars he's here, but there could be still a domino effect, like you said. Arizona could hire somebody, then something else opens back up, and Coach Godwin's name would be mentioned for that as well.
Malcolm, take off your ECU hat for a moment and put on your baseball hat, because you've worked with USA Baseball. You've gone out to Omaha several times, and the players, know the coaches, know the landscape. Were you surprised at all that LSU went outside of their region, went all the way out to Arizona to bring in their coach? Because it does seem like coaches in all sports, they kind of have their region where, all right, this guy's a West Coast guy. This guy's a Northeast basketball coach. He'll always stay up there. So were you surprised they went out to Arizona, or did you see Jay Johnson being a really good fit, a good candidate for that job?
Well, I mean, I honestly, yes. I thought that they went out of their comfort zone. I thought that they might stick with, an individual who has an SEC background. Now, who that have been, I mean, there's a bunch of them out there, but them meaning LSU going to get the Arizona head coach. Well, he's taken them to 2 College World Series. He's won a couple Pac-12 championships. He's had 20 plus players drafted in the major leagues. He's coached 50 All-American selections. I mean, so he's done everything that he can do except for win the College World Series. And and maybe it was just a good fit. We don't understand or know. Like there was a report, obviously, that Coach Godwin went and interviewed in Birmingham, Alabama. We don't know how that conversation went. We don't know how it went with Mike Bianco. We don't know how it went apparently with Link Jarrett if he interviewed. There's been so many rumors. But apparently when it was all said and done with, the LSU AD liked what he saw from Arizona's head coach, and that's what they took.
Malcolm Gray joining us. Malcolm, on that note, I saw Kendall Rogers tweet out earlier today. Now, I didn't know there was a San Diego job opening, but apparently there is. And Kendall Rogers was asked, who's some names to watch out for here. And he had 2 names mentioned, and one of them was Bryant Ward, who we look at as an East Coast guy, right? Because he's from here and went to ECU, but he's been out at UCLA. So maybe he is carving out a niche as a West Coast guy. I could still see him returning to the East. And, if Cliff Godwin ever goes elsewhere, he could be, potentially in the running at ECU. But thought it was pretty cool to see his name brought up for a head coaching job, because again, he's a hot assistant right now, and who knows, could kind of stake his claim to the West for the remainder of his career. But I know that was pretty neat to see the Rose guy's name mentioned with San Diego.
Oh, no doubt about it. And Cliff and Bryant Ward, they're best friends. They were roommates in college and everything. So I think it's pretty cool. Now getting to see people that played with Cliff who are in the coaching ranks are now starting to get looks at these high end jobs, and that's a really good job. And Bryant's been on the West Coast for a long time. I think he was at South Florida 1 year, and then he went out to Cal State Fullerton for a couple of years, and now he's at UCLA, and he's an assistant head coach recruiting director. So obviously he's doing something right if his name's being mentioned, and I think he would be a great candidate and do a great job, at San Diego or anywhere else, especially on the West Coast, because he understands the game out there, which is a lot different than what we see in the SEC and on the East Coast.
Interesting stuff, and it's kind of like right here at ECU when J.C. Dietrich was brought in, right? It's like, man, that guy from Oregon's coming all the way over here, but we do see it happen. Malcolm, can you hang on through a break and talk a little MLB with us?
Sure.
All right, we'll do that. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll go another 10 or so minutes with Malcolm Gray, ECU baseball. Also, we talk a lot of Major League Baseball with Malcolm when he joins us here on Pirate Radio Live. We'll ask Malcolm what he thinks about the new MLB inspection policies and what we saw with Max Scherzer, Sergio Romo earlier this week, and also take a look at the MLB standings. It's all ahead when we return on Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this. The best place in Greenville to unwind after work and have fun is AJ McMurphy's. AJ's has daily food and drink specials and an awesome patio perfect for some outdoor dining. Stop by AJ's on Monday for open mic, music on the patio on Tuesday, sports trivia with me, Clip Brock, on Wednesdays, and music bingo on Thursday. AJ McMurphy's, Turnberry Square at Bells Fork, and on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Okay, let's just try not to embarrass ourselves and everything will be fine.
Yeah, sure, totally. Is that a Pepsi Wild Cherry?
Oh, no. Please, not here. Not here.
Too late.
You know something, Steve? Flavor Mania's about to run wild.
Oh, not Flavor Mania.
Pepsi Wild Cherry's about to drop a flavor suplex right into your pie hole. It's gonna hit your taste buds with a top rope elbow of flavor. It's gonna be delicious. It's gonna be refreshing. It's gonna throw your wild cherry loving brain right through the announcer's table.
Oh, I can't take you anywhere.
Flavor Mania doesn't need your permission, Steve, because the world knows that nothing is gonna get between Pepsi Wild Cherry and that flavor championship belt. Are you ready to get wild?
Oh, please don't.
Come
get
on,
wild.
Steve. I said, are you ready to get wild?
Seriously, does this always have to happen when you drink Pepsi Wild Cherry?
You better believe it, brother.
Pepsi Wild Cherry. Now available in 0 sugar. That's what I like.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville across from Ron Ayers Motorsports and in Chocowinity next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Domino's week-long carry-out deal means you can carry out 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each every day. That's right, $7.99 each, and every day means any day. But just in case there's any confusion, we've set up a helpful website to confirm if today's a day you can carry out 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each at Domino's. Just go to howabouttoday.com to find out if Domino's week-long carry-out deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carry out only. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary. Excludes extra large and specialty pizzas. Crust availability varies by size.
Hey Pirate fans, did you know there are thousands of special needs children and adults right here in our community that loves ECU athletics as much as you do? Robbie's Clubhouse is a local nonprofit organization that can turn your unused ECU tickets into a fun day for a family with special needs. If you can't make it to the next Pirate game, simply call 1-800-DIAL-ECU and donate and designate your tickets for Robbie's Clubhouse. Go Pirates!
Sawyer's Fun Park is now open in Greenville. This state-of-the-art 40,000 square foot facility features a 2-story LED interactive laser tag, a one-of-a-kind 2-story ninja course, a ropes course with a 180-degree zip line, and it's only one of 5 in the country that are indoors. Multiple climbing walls, a super cool arcade with 40-plus games, and a brand new full-service cafe and bar for adults. Visit the brand new Sawyer's Fun Park, now open, located right behind ARU on Corey Road, Greenville.
This is Coach Blake Carroll, defensive coordinator for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio for 18 years. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, this is not interesting to anyone or anything we've talked about, but I just saw it and thought it was funny. It was somebody asked, "What's your favorite tweet of all time?" And it was a story about Cardell Jones. Remember the quarterback from Ohio State who said he didn't go to Ohio State to play school, he went to play football. It says Cardell Jones visits kid in hospital to play video games, beats him 91-35 in NCAA football.
My God.
And then Cardell Jones tweeted, "Man, I wish everyone would stop saying I beat a kid in the hospital 91-35. It was 98-35. I had 91 with 126 left in the fourth." So
it was the Chappelle skit where he goes and plays in the NBA Street in the hospital.
Yeah. Pick up your sticks.
Pick up them sticks, kid.
So there you go. Look, yeah, you got to teach the kids lessons, right? There's winners, there's losers. I bet that kid is really good at video games now. All right, Malcolm Gray joins us on the Fixed NC Live line. Malcolm, we talked college baseball a segment ago. It is Vanderbilt 2, NC State 0 in the fourth inning as the odds stacked against the Pack today with a ton of players out due to COVID, and they have 13 players available, but they did just get a base hit down the right field line. So it is 2-0 in the fourth inning. Let's talk some MLB, Malcolm, and what about the three-ring circus we saw earlier this week in Philadelphia as Max Scherzer was, I guess, inspected several times, including once at the request of Joe Girardi, and then that turns into Girardi, and he's yelling at the Nationals dugout, and just it erupts. He gets ejected. I mean, I know this isn't what Rob Manfred and Major League Baseball wanted when they came out with this pitcher inspection thing, but that's what we got. We also got Sergio Romo taking off his pants on the field. I mean, it was nuts the other night. Almost literally. I didn't mean to say that. But what's your take on this deal as a baseball fan your entire life and what we're seeing right now with these inspections, Malcolm?
It is an absolute three-ring circus. There is no doubt about it. It's, apparently, Major League Baseball wants to have, a lot more home runs, and that's what drives their viewership. If it's a higher scoring game, unless you have like a perfect game or a no-hitter or something like that going, a lot of people who are just casual fans, they don't want to see a 1-0 ball game. They want to see eight runs versus 7 runs and stuff like that. But, I thought what Max Scherzer did the other day, I thought was great. I mean, Joe Girardi, from what I understand, the way the rule reads is that you can inspect twice during a game. Like the umpires will inspect, it could be the same pitcher, it could be different pitchers, twice, and then the opposing coach can then ask for one additional or something like that. But I just thought it was a three-ring circus.
Yeah.
I read the article afterwards, and I listened to Joe Girardi and Max Scherzer's comments and everything. And Joe Girardi or Max Scherzer, he uses rosin on his pitching hand, and he wasn't sweating a lot on his arms, and he didn't want to keep licking it and, like he said, eating rosin, so he would just run it through his hair so he'd get a better grip on the ball. That's perfectly in the rules. You see it. And then he just happened to be sweating more that day than he did in the other game, and Joe Girardi said he's never, in scouting him, he's never seen him do that before, so he's like, okay, let's challenge. And it was absolutely just bonkers, like you said.
It was all crazy, Malcolm. I think my favorite part, which was the weirdest part, was the umpire caressing the very little hair that Max Scherzer has left, and it was creepy almost. But that's where we are right now. I also love that Rob Manfred did an interview with The Athletic, and on Wednesday, and this was Monday and Tuesday. I think Tuesday night was when we saw the Scherzer Romo stuff. But it's the quote was, "My view is the first 2 days have gone very well," end quote. and then he was asked about that situation in Philadelphia, and he says, "I understand the incident in Philadelphia was less than ideal, but that was one incident." So I guess he's expecting the pitchers, managers, fans, everybody to maybe just get used to it. I don't know. It looks like there's not going to be any changes with it, so we shall see how it goes from here on out.
Yeah, I think you're right. Rob Hansford has done everything almost he possibly can to alter the way baseball has been played lately.
Yeah.
Not for the good, in my opinion. I know you and I have talked about this. Corey Glore, a bunch of us who follow baseball on the regular have talked about this, and it's not fun to watch anymore with all these new rules. 1 year you got a rule, next year you don't have a rule, and then now you bring in this new rule, which is the dumbest thing ever. It's that's why I like the college game better.
Yeah.
There you go.
Malcolm, speaking of Corey Glore, is it true that you ran him out of the booth? Didn't he do his last games with you? Is he the reason are you the reason he's leaving?
I don't think I'm the reason he's leaving, but I was very honored that he let me call and again, I didn't know anything was going on until it kind of broke, the last week. But I didn't know anything was going on, and come to find out that I actually got a chance to call his last 2 games with him, and at least on Friday. Saturday, I let him do a lot of the talking just because we were both very upset with the way things shook out in that game with umpires and stuff like that. But
I tell you what, Malcolm, he was about as outspoken. He was more outspoken than he'd ever been about umpires and what was happening. That was pretty interesting to hear.
It was very entertaining for sure. He was right, but at the same time, and Corey and I talked about it afterwards that at the same time you still got to hit the ball. You still got to make pitches, and whether things don't go your way or not, you can't just blame it on that. You have to make your own luck, I guess, or you have to make things work for you. And we just weren't able to do it. I mean, again, we've been seeing, so far in the College World Series, Rocker, I think, has 9 or 10 strikeouts right now through 5 innings. So, I mean, those guys are pretty good, and you just have to be a little bit better to beat them.
Malcolm, great joining us. Obviously, we are big fans of Corey, both personally and professionally, and he's going to do a great job down there at Tulane with the Green Wave, and he gets to hang out with Todd Graffinini. I'm kind of jealous, Malcolm.
Yeah, you and the boys, aren't you?
He's an interesting fellow. Malcolm Gray joining us. Malcolm, your Red Sox right now looking up at the Rays, but only by a half game, as Tampa 45-31, Boston 44-31, Yankees 4 games back of first in the AL East. So at what point, Malcolm, I mean, we've seen a big enough sample size now, right? 75 games into the season that the Red Sox are here to play. Do you like their staying power the second half of the baseball season?
I do like it. I think offensively that's where the Red Sox are definitely shining. There's no doubt about it. Their pitching is still, in my opinion, somewhat suspect. But at the same time, Martin Perez, who actually throws tonight against the Yankees, I think the Red Sox and Yankees are starting a 3 or 4 game series. It'll be a 3-game series. Their pitching just hasn't been great. It's been okay, which, if you're, like I've always said, if you're scoring 7-8 runs a game and you're only holding the other team down to 6, majority of the time you're going to win. And that's kind of what they've been doing. So I'm very surprised, as probably a lot of Red Sox fans are, but once the All-Star break gets here, maybe a couple weeks after that, the potential of Chris Sale being available for the Red Sox should be pretty good for us.
Yeah, that is a name I have not heard in a while. That would be a big boost, certainly. They are the Red Sox, one of the surprises in the American League. In the National League, it's the Giants, right? 48-26. And the question was, would anybody touch the Dodgers, not only in baseball, but, not only in their division, but in all of baseball? And it could be the Padres. Well, the Padres and Dodgers right now are tied in the West. They are both looking up at the Giants. And Malcolm, I know a few of their mainstays from over the years, but I don't know if I could tell you 5 Giants right now that are on the roster.
Yeah, I only know a handful. Obviously Brandon Crawford.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people know Brandon Crawford. You have Johnny Cueto. Other than that, Buster Posey. That's about it. But you sit there and look. I mean, they're a plus 101 in run differential this year. So that means they're actually playing a lot of offense. And then, you turn right around and look, and they're 4.5 games up on the Dodgers right now, and the Padres, who, all year, or, a lot of people have been talking, that's every time that series is played between the Dodgers and Padres, be on a couch, be somewhere to watch it because it's going to be fun to watch. Well, that's what we're doing, but all of a sudden, San Francisco just flies and shoots right past both of them.
Malcolm Gray joining us. Malcolm, you've got some MVP candidates with what Tatis has done. Even he's been out of the lineup, and he's still putting up some fantastic numbers. Also, Ronald Acuna Jr., although with the Braves right now 4th in the NL East, they're 5.5 back of the Mets. Could a player that low in his division standings win MVP? I guess we've seen Mike Trout do it a few times.
Yeah.
But then you also have, and I'm looking it up right now, and let me rattle off some names. Clayton Kershaw in 2014. And then, good grief, you got to go all the way back. Is it really, let's see, Bob Gibson? I'm looking for pitchers who won the NL MVP. And, I guess Gibson and Kershaw are the most two recent, obviously, with Kershaw in 14 and Gibson all the way back there. But could Jacob deGrom not only win a Cy Young, Malcolm, but win the MVP with the numbers he's putting up with the first-place Mets this year?
I don't see why he wouldn't. As of right now, I think he's the hands-on favorite. And here's the crazy thing, and I just looked, the Mets are in first place right now. So obviously we know how talented he is pitching-wise. But what's been more impressive to me, I think, this year is what little bit he's been able to hit. He's hitting the ball too. So he's literally producing. I think he's driven in more runs offensively than he's probably given up this year.
I know that was the fact before the previous start he made, because I had it on Sports Trivia, not this week, but last week. He had more RBIs than earned runs allowed on the year, which is insane.
Yeah, it is. And, obviously when it comes down to the voting and tabulation, stuff like that, no one's going to be talking about what he's doing offensively, but just what he's been able to do pitching-wise. I mean, he's just crazy good. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, he's just really good, and I think, like you said, with Kershaw and Bob Gibson, I think Bob Gibson was like either 67, 68, like you said, and it's impressive if you can do both of those things in the same league. But what he's been able to do, pitching, with sub-1 ERA or just right out of 1 ERA is ridiculous.
Talking to Malcolm Gray on the Fixed NC Live Line, talking MLB and college baseball. Malcolm, we appreciate your time here on a Friday, man. We will let you go. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the baseball, and we'll talk to you again soon here on Pirate Radio Live, man.
Sounds good, Cliff. Thanks for having me on, and you guys have a good weekend as well.
Thank you, sir. There's Malcolm Gray. We always enjoy talking baseball with Malcolm. We'll be doing that throughout the summer here on Pirate Radio as we switch gears and get to football. We will be talking some football coming up at 5 o'clock with Adam Witten. He is the voice of the Appalachian State Mountaineers. We'll do that. But coming up next, Mark Greenelge, Golf Shop Radio Show, will join us. It is down to the wire for Harold Varner III. He is 1 under through 17. He's on 18. According to Twitter, the HV3 tracker said he is 4 feet from birdie. So when we return, we'll give you an HV3 update and tell you if he's going to make the cut or not, and also talk more golf with Greeny, Mark Greenelge from the Golf Shop Radio Show. That's on the way when we return on Pirate Radio Live right after this.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
John Gilbert, ECU Athletic Director.
For the immediate future, there are really 3 things I'm kind of focusing on. 1 is stabilizing our budget. 2, competitive excellence. We need to win. And then the third piece would be our student-athlete life.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
There's nothing more important than protecting your family. Fire ants can cause painful allergic reactions and even death. Protect your loved ones at home where you should feel the safest. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com to learn of our once-a-year treatment to guarantee you stay fire ant free. Tested and proven effective by your Eastern North Carolina exterminating professionals at Pest Tech of Greenville. Mention the crying baby for an extra 10% off.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Cliff Godwin. Summer is here and I want to invite your son to attend Cliff Godwin Youth Camps. We will offer 3 sessions the weeks of June 28th, July 12th, and July 26th. All camps will be held at Clark LeClaire Stadium and campers will get baseball instruction from members of the 2021 ECU baseball team. Campers will also play games and each camp ends with our famous Pirate Slip and Slide. Full day and half day sessions are offered. For more information, visit cliffgodwinbaseballcamp.com. See you there. Go Pirates.
You've worked hard to start your business and working even harder to make it successful. And that's why it's important to have a bank in your corner when you need them. This is former ECU baseball player Ashley Capps from Select Bank and Trust. And as the business world throws you curveballs, we're here to be responsive to your needs. Our team of local bankers can make local decisions and cares about you, the customer. Get the business services that are right for your business today with Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select, member FDIC.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by GolfKnickers.com, the world's leader in traditional golf apparel. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Safety comes first at Greenville Utilities. Did you know that by itself, natural gas is completely odorless? As a safety precaution, a chemical is added to the gas that gives it a distinctive and unpleasant odor. This allows you to detect the slightest amount of natural gas both indoors and outdoors. If you smell a strong odor of natural gas in or near your home, you should immediately call Greenville Utilities. GUC maintains staff around the clock in order to provide immediate response to emergencies such as natural gas leaks. You can count on GUC to keep safety job number one.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an Auto Owners independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with Auto Owners Insurance.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
Pirate radio sounds different.
Different is good. We are all the same. You'll be ashamed.
Because different is good.
Oh yeah.
Pirate radio.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Did you miss the show on Pirate Radio? Listen to all of Pirate Radio's archived local programming by subscribing to us on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe today by going to the podcast app on your iPhone or Apple device and search for Pirate Radio Audio Archives. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Cliff Brock.
Back with you on PRL here on a Friday. NC State trying to rally here in the 5th inning. It is Vanderbilt 2, the undermanned Wolfpack 0, but 2 on with nobody out as Sam Highfield, the pitcher who held the Vanderbilt bat silent a few nights ago in Omaha, is now 2 for 2 in his first 2 at-bats of the season. So some storybook stuff going on right now in Omaha as NC State trying to rally back from a 2-0 deficit. Speaking of rallying back, I said earlier in the show that Harold Varner III needed a couple of birdies to get to the cut line. Well, he got them. He just got one on 18 a moment ago to get to 2 under par. He is tied for 60th, and I guess now he will wait to see if that -2 is good enough to get him to the weekend as they're playing at the Travelers Championship right now. And we will talk about that with Greeny. Mark Greenelge from the Golf Shop Radio Show joins us on the Fixed NC Live line. Greeny, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Cliff, how you doing?
Hey, fantastic. Let's talk about this week before we look back at a tremendous U.S. Open with a ton of names at the leaderboard on Sunday. So, Travelers going on right now. Greeny, as I said, HV3 looking to make the cut at 2 under. We'll see if that stands. The leader right now, a familiar name, Bubba Watson at 8 under par. What are you keeping an eye on this weekend at this tournament?
Yeah, well, Bubba Watson's won this a couple of times, and he's had an epic meltdown at this event before. So, it's a box of chocolates for him in Connecticut. You never know what you're going to get. So we'll kind of hang on to our seats and see what happens with Bubba over the weekend. But you had a couple guys. I mean, you had Brooks Koepka, Dustin Johnson, Phil Mickelson, some guys that played in the U.S. Open last week, made the trek. DJ and Brooks went from South Carolina all the way to California and then back to Connecticut. So they're definitely getting their private jet miles in. But, all those guys have made the cut so far. And like you said, HV3 still not making putts. He stuck it in there inside of 4 feet on 17, hit it inside of 4 feet in another hole coming in. And looks like that for Harold right now to make birdies, he's got to jam it in there really close, not really making anything outside of 5 or 6 feet for birdie right now, so he's got to work on that a little bit.
Putts were made last Sunday, Mark. I was locked in to the U.S. Open, and it went down to 2 players towards the end there with Louis Oosthuizen and John Rahm. And Rahm just couldn't sink the big putt for a while there and would stay one back of Oosthuizen, but was able to hit big ones on 17 and 18. It was awesome to watch, and a lot of drama there, and he's able to win the U.S. Open. But, man, a lot of story. We'll talk about some of the other players. Let's just start with Rahm and what he was able to do really the entire round 4, but there on 17 and 18, Mark, hitting those big putts.
Yeah, he kind of, for me, he almost made the mistake. On 18, that pin's tucked over there on that right side, and you can't miss that thing to the right. And he proved that by having to hit his bunker shot kind of away from the pin just to give himself an opportunity to make that putt. So, for that standpoint, you almost got to say, man, this thing just has got to be middle of the green. If it goes a little long, that's fine. I got a lot of room coming back. So, made a mistake, and I thought that might have been the mistake that ended it, because you're back there thinking, man, Louis Oosthuizen's playing so well that he's probably going to make a bunch of pars and then has a chance to birdie 18 and win the thing, because Rahm may not make birdie here. And lo and behold, he buried his second putt in a row, just epic. And it was funny. He actually said that he remembered seeing highlights of 08 and seeing Lee Westwood have almost the identical putt and miss it, and adjusted his line because of remembering that putt. And Lee Westwood didn't even remember that he missed the putt on that side of the hole.
Greeny, I was talking to a buddy about Rahm, and apparently he had the moniker of a bit of a hothead, I guess, over the years, and pointed back to the tournament he was about to win a few weeks ago, and found out that he had that positive COVID test, and he said the maturity that he showed there with that situation spoke volumes and kind of showed how he's changed, I guess, as a person. I don't know, and maybe as a golfer as well. But how about that, Greeny, the maturation process that he's shown over the years, and does that have anything to do with him winning the U.S. Open on Sunday?
I think it does. I mean, he's had episodes where, he gets so angry, and if you remember a few years back at the Players' Championship, him and his caddy kind of got into a shot on the par 5 11th hole and had a back and forth, and the caddy wanted him to hit one shot, he wanted to hit another shot, he ended up dumping it in the water, and then that was pretty much it.
Wow.
The anger got the best of him. It still does occasionally, and what you really have to do with John Rahm is kind of watch him early in a round. And if he hits a bad shot and he kind of just moves on, then he's kind of in business. But every once in a while, it will still creep in that he just kind of gets really angry, and it never goes away during a round. So, ironically enough, Sunday at the U.S. Open, he seemed like he was the most consistently calm and the guy that kind of kept it in play most often. I mean, and evidenced by, Louis Oosthuizen on 17 could hit it anywhere as far right as he wanted to, and he missed that thing left, and that cost him the golf tournament.
Yep, that was pretty shocking to see after Oosthuizen was so cool and calm throughout the entire round there on Sunday as well. Greeny, well, now let's go from the good and the bad and talk about what happened to Bryson DeChambeau. He was, what was it, Greeny, on top of the leaderboard like through 9, and then the back half was just awful for him. So how do you describe what happened to him on Sunday?
Well, they asked him if he came off the rails, and he said, no, I just got some bad breaks. And that's what I will never understand about Bryson. I mean, you have the ability to hit the ball that far, and his strategy was basically hit it as far as I can. Doesn't matter if it misses, way right on certain holes or way left on certain holes. I'll just find it and hit it again. And the chances are I'm going to have a decent enough lie from what I have to get it, somewhere on the green or something like that. And he basically said he got bad breaks. And yeah, I mean, you can't go 4 rounds in a U.S. Open doing that and expect to not get bad breaks. I mean, I still maintain that, when he won the U.S. Open last year, he got a whole bunch of good breaks. So maybe karma kind of finally caught up with him, because if you remember him and Matthew Wolff battling back and forth for the longest time in that round, and it seemed like all of a sudden Matthew Wolff started hitting in the rough and getting horrible lies, and Bryson never got those. So, it caught up to him this year. And again, I don't understand the strategy. I think you need to hit your driving iron, your 3-wood off the tee, get it in the fairway, and then give yourself an opportunity to hit these greens. And it's almost like a Phil Mickelson-esque strategy. I mean, if Phil had been a little more conservative in his career, he might have 10 major championships instead of 6.
Mark Greenhill's Golf Shop Radio Show. You can hear it every Saturday, 8 to 10 a.m. here on Pirate Radio. Greeny, I saw a headline earlier this week that said golfers to face strict COVID-19 protocols at the Open, the British Open. And it reminds me of the NC State stuff today, where they are down to 13 players for this game against Vanderbilt. As I go to sporting events, watch sporting events, go about my daily life, COVID starts to go more and more in the rear view, but then stories like this pop up. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be a factor at all, but it looks like when they go across the pond, there are going to be maybe some stricter policies than they've been dealing with week to week on the PGA Tour.
Well, when this all happened to Rahm at Memorial a couple weeks ago, some of the players had good points. Is that, we're getting tested, but the fans aren't getting tested.
Yeah.
I hit a tee shot into the fans and people around the golf ball, and they're standing, 5 or 6 feet from me, or 4 feet from me in some cases.
Yeah.
What's the difference between that happening and me playing the final round with John Rahm? So, I don't know what the fan protocols are going to be over there, but, some of the rules now kind of don't make sense, that we're testing the players, but we're not testing the fans to be able to come in and stand next to the players. So, and to be honest with you, I mean, when you go to Pro-Ams, I played a Pro-Am on the Symetra Tour recently. Nobody tested me. Nobody asked me any questions. I just went out and played with the two ladies that I played 9 holes with in the Symetra Tour Pro-Am, and didn't have to follow any protocol. So it's become a little strange in terms of how all this is being handled.
No doubt. Talking to Greeny on the Fixed NC Live line. Mark, what do you guys have planned for Saturday's edition of the Golf Shop Radio Show?
So I think I mentioned last week, we're going to be live at X Golf South Charlotte. It's a new indoor facility that's all, the simulators and all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We're actually going to be playing. We're going to be playing Pebble Beach during the show in a match.
Wow.
We're gonna talk to Bill Bender of the Sporting News. We're gonna talk to Steve Scott, who lost the third of Tiger's 3 U.S. Amateur wins, and there was a crucial spot near the end of the match where Tiger didn't move his ball back, and Steve Scott had to remind him, or Steve Scott would have won the match. And we're going to talk to Josh Upson, who is the head golf professional up at Detroit Golf Club for the Rocket Classic next week. And then we'll talk a little single-length golf clubs with David Lake of One Iron Golf.
Good stuff. Looking forward to a great show coming up on Saturday. Greeny, thanks for your time as always. Have a great weekend, a great show tomorrow, and we'll talk to you again on Friday.
All right, thanks, Clip. You have a good weekend, too.
Thank you, sir. There is Greeny. Mark Greenheld's got the Open Championship coming up on July 15th. That is the next major on the schedule there for the PGA Tour. Right now, it is 2-1. Vanderbilt leading NC State in the top of the 6th inning. NC State got a sac fly, scored a run, had an opportunity with another runner in scoring position, but Rocker was able to get out of that jam. Elliott Avent was just on the phone in the dugout talking to a very depleted bullpen, and it looks like they might get some activity going, and Elliott Avent will indeed come out to the mound with a runner on first, nobody out in the 6th inning. 87 pitches for State starter today, Hughes, and boy, did they need that from him. Just think if he, Payne, I guess was the pitcher, Garrett Payne, my apologies. Just think if he goes 1 inning, 2 innings, Vanderbilt gets to him, it is over.
Basically, they only have 2 other pitchers.
He's able to go 5 innings, and now you've got those other guys, those other couple of guys that are going to try to get him to the end of this thing, but giving up just 2 runs. What a performance by him when they needed him the most.
Even if they get by today, and if they do, I mean, hats off. You have to worry about the future, really, after this game, and about the availability of your bullpen and who will be able to come back from the safety protocols, who's not going to be able to come back. So that'll definitely be, even, hell, whether they win or lose, it's going to be a concern for the Wolfpack going forward.
Kumar Rocker at 90 pitches right now, so he'll go out there for sure. In the bottom of the 6th, but we'll see how much he has left in him. NC State going to the bullpen here with facing a 2-1 deficit. Vanderbilt runner on first in the top of the 6th. Coming up tonight, it'll be Texas and Mississippi State. Texas, do you know what time that game wrapped up last night?
I have no idea.
They started
after midnight
at 10. Definitely, they started 10:45 Eastern, so they started 9:45 Central. So it was on into probably 1 or 2 o'clock, I would say.
It reminded me of the time we were sitting in the press box questioning starting a game at 11 o'clock.
Yep. That is very similar to that, and they did decide to go ahead and play it with 2 games on the schedule today. So we'll see how the legs are for the Longhorns when they take on Mississippi State. Mississippi State just 1 game, 1 win away from advancing to the final. All right, we got a big hour 3 on tap. We're going to make somebody a winner. In fact, we'll figure that out in hour 3. Might do it at a different time, so stay tuned. We'll have our Free Beer Friday winner coming up. We will have Adam Witten, who is the voice of the Appalachian State Mountaineers, coming up at 5 o'clock when we return on Pirate Radio Live. Stick around for some football talk. We're back with you after this.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Now, Wes, you have a incredible ability to be able to spit off our IP address, but not have your zipper up on your pants. It's an amazing talent.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those, but anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
The Tulsa River Bandits are back, and this year we'll have a full season, and all fans are welcome this year. Come watch some of the best collegiate baseball around with over 20 Division I players on this active roster looking to compete at a high level. We have a family-friendly atmosphere, awesome stadium, food and drink specials, plus the coldest beer on the East. Come do something different with the family this summer with the Tarboro River Bandits. 29 home games to choose from. Tickets available at the gate or online at TarboroRiverBandits.com.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
E&S Hemp Company in Winterville is your premier CBD store. At E&S Hemp Company, they have helped hundreds of people just like you get relief from joint pain, anxiety, insomnia, and more by providing you the highest quality of CBD products available. E&S Hemp Company has a great selection of only the safest, purest, and most beneficial hemp-infused products available from honey, tea, coffee, candles, and more. E&S Hemp Company, Fire Tower Road in Winterville, and online at eshempcompany.com.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. College athletes unionizing, it could very well happen. We'll have some fun next.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Former Atlanta Braves outfielder Terry Harper.
Well, Hank was the minor league director when I was coming up. A lot of times he used to give me a ride home after the game, and we would just talk baseball as far as fundamentals. He didn't really talk a whole lot about that. We mostly just talk about the mental side of hitting.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
Congress has introduced a bill to allow college athletes to form players' unions and be considered employees of their schools. 4 Democrats and 1 independent, Bernie Sanders of Vermont, co-authored the bill. Representative Lori Trahan of Massachusetts, a former volleyball player at Georgetown, has been particularly outspoken. She said the NCAA collects massive amounts of revenue off the backs of unpaid labor and offers no way for athletes to negotiate the compensation, safety, or playing conditions. It's time to finally end amateurism as we know it, is what she said. The NCAA, of course, is pushing back, saying turning student athletes into union employees is not the answer. The transfer portal, which is like a free agent system, name, image, and likeness is here, and could unionizing student athletes be next? In what just a few years ago would have thought to be impossible, now in 2021 is a real possibility. Come on back again next time, and we'll visit inside the booth.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. The Tarboro River Bandits are back. Come experience the best collegiate baseball around this summer. Only 20 minutes from Greenville, the Tarboro River Bandits have a beautiful stadium, family and kid-friendly atmosphere, great food and drink specials, plus the coldest beer in the East. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit TarboroRiverBandits.com. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Flip Rock.
How cold that beer?
It is the coldest in the East.
How cold,
Ice cold!
Chandler Honeycutt, Big Dog, Clip Rock here with you on a Friday.
You didn't think I knew that, did you?
What, the Outkast song? Hey, y'all?
Ice cold!
You should know it. Everybody should know it. Some say it should be our national anthem.
I have heard of you.
There's plenty of other Outkast songs that should be before that. All right, hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. So we have began our ECU opponent previews And we've knocked out 2 already this week. We've talked to Steve Cotton, play-by-play voice of the Marshall Thundering Herd, also Tommy Suggs, color analyst on the Gamecocks radio network. I am efforting, and this is really cool, the head coach of ECU's Week 4 opponent, Charleston Southern, who is Autry Denson. Now, Chandler, you don't know that name. Glenn.
He was the running backs coach for Notre Dame before he went to Charleston Southern.
Well, you know that much. I remember him as like Notre Dame's all-time leading rusher at the time. Like when I was growing up,
I didn't know that.
He was a guy I would watch on NBC and like go be in the yard. Autry Denson.
Yeah.
Former Notre Dame running back. You remember the name, right?
Yes.
He is the coach at Charleston Southern, and I believe we're going to get him on the show potentially Tuesday next week. So
cool, man.
That'll be awesome to talk to the head coach. Cool.
Cool, neat story.
And I'll probably just ask him questions about his days at Notre Dame, and maybe we'll talk about his current team. But we are knocking out our opponent previews, and we will continue to do that right now because joining me on the Fixed NC Live line is the voice of the Appalachian State Mountaineers. ECU and App State will go at it on September the 2nd. It's a Thursday night at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. And Adam, great to get you on. How you doing today, man?
Absolutely. I'm glad to be finally doing this because it means that we're just that much closer to the start of the season.
Absolutely, and we are counting down the days here at Pirate Radio, looking forward to what should be a really fun game, a good game between the Pirates and the Mountaineers. Adam, how long have you been the play-by-play announcer? And I asked that to ask how many head coaches have you seen at App State? The turnover there has been incredible, and what's really incredible is the amount of success each new coach has there. It seems like no matter who's in and who's out, the team hasn't missed a beat. So how many head coaches have you seen during your time, Adam?
So this is the third head coach, but this is my sixth. This will be my 6th year doing games. But those 3 coaches were all between a span of late 2018 and late 2019, because Scott Satterfield was the head coach when I started in 2016, and then after the 2018 season when they won the Sun Belt title, he got the job at Louisville. And he did not coach the bowl game. So actually, if you include also interim coaches, there's been 4 head coaches in a span of about 12 months. Because we had an interim coach for the bowl game in 2018 who ended up joining Scott Satterfield's staff in Louisville. Eli Drinkwitz gets hired before the bowl game, doesn't coach the bowl game. He coaches for the 2019 season. He gets hired at Missouri prior to the bowl game in 2019. Sean Clark gets hired as the head coach and actually coaches the bowl game in 2019 as his first official game as the head coach. And then he jumps into his first year as a full-time head football coach in the middle of a pandemic. So, yeah, the stretch from about December 2018 till March of 2020, quite the whirlwind that we've experienced. But to your point, the success has still been there, and even last year, when you consider it a quote-unquote down season, they still end up winning 9 games and a bowl game to boot.
It's pretty incredible and somewhat comparable to a conference mate of ours, Adam, what Temple has been able to do with Matt Rule, Jeff Collins, now Rod Carey there, and we'll see what Coach Carey can do with the Owls, but so far, no matter who has taken over that gig, has been able to put a good product on the field, and absolutely the same thing can be said about Appalachian State. I was reading up on Sean Clark, and not only a great record in his first year there, but an App State guy, right, Adam? And I know the folks around there like having one of their own as the head man there.
Yeah, it was amazing to see. You know, Sean Clark, he actually came back to Boone. He did play there in the 90s. He's from Charleston, West Virginia, but he's an App State guy, played for legendary coach Jerry Moore. But Sean Clark actually joined the staff as the offensive line coach the same year that I joined to start calling games. So he and I kind of hit it off right away as 2 App guys that kind of returned to campus to take jobs around the football program. And he's an amazing person. He's an incredible coach. He's worked his tail off. And has the respect of so many people in that locker room. And I think one of the amazing things that we saw in this whole coaching transition was when Coach Drinkwitz got hired at Missouri, there was an unbelievable wave of support and almost a campaign, if you will, amongst the players to get Sean Clark the head coaching job. You had current players, you had former players, you had all these supporters around the program, people involved with the program coming out there and saying Sean Clark should be our head coach. And it made the decision for Doug Gillen and the administration very easy to go ahead and promote Sean Clark, an app guy, to be the person to lead this program into its next phase. And he's just such an amazing person to work with. And a lot of that kind of stems back to, who he is and his upbringing, but also because, he comes from that Jerry Moore coaching tree. And that's really where it all ties back to. Scott Satterfield was the same way. Anybody that you see that's been around the program going back to the 90s and early 2000 and all through the 2000s, they all are kind of cut from the same cloth because they learn under Jerry Moore. And Sean Clark is that same person. Great coach, connects really well with the players, and certainly a great fit on the mountain.
Jerry Moore is certainly a legendary name in college football with Appalachian State. We're talking to Adam Whitten, the play-by-play voice of the Mountaineers. And Adam, looking at this history, of course, we all remember the games from 1932 to 1951. Appalachian State won every single one of those meetings with East Carolina. So the overall series goes App State 19-12 as far as wins. And haven't seen the Mountaineers in a while. I remember, at least leading up to this game in 2012, Adam, that Armani Edwards, and we all knew, about him and the type of player he was, but it was either the 09 or the 12 game. I don't recall. Maybe it was the 09 game, but he had a lawnmower accident before the game, like during the offseason. They kept him out of the game. But anyway, ECU was able to win it 29-24 in 09 and 35-13 in 2012. And we haven't seen the Mountaineers since then. So looking forward to getting back on the field. I like this game. I like this matchup this year.
I do too. It makes so much sense. And I was so glad to hear when they scheduled this 4-game series, and we're so excited to kick it off because you're right. I mean, you mentioned the only 2 games that have been played between the schools since 1979, and 09 was the Armani Edwards talking about. He was not around for the 2012 game, but both of those games went the way of the Pirates. And like you said, App State dominated very early in the series. ECU has been the benefactor of the last couple of times they played, but just the fact that we're going to get this series going again is so exciting. And to have this first game in Charlotte, I can't wait to see what the stadium looks like at Bank of America with these 2 large fan bases, especially in that area of the state, combining for a neutral site. That's going to be such an awesome atmosphere to kick the season off. Having games in Greenville, having games in Boone as a part of this series, it just makes so much sense. It really does. And so I'm glad that we finally get to start this series. And hopefully, we won't have these scenarios like we're talking about now, where it's like, man, they've only played twice since 1979.
Right.
I'm hoping that when this 4-game series is over, that we're not going to go that long of a stretch in between getting another series going.
And what a start to the season for Appalachian State. They got the date with East Carolina, and then they will head to Coral Gables to take on the Miami Hurricanes. And that looks like a tough non-conference schedule, but the conference schedule is tough, Adam, with Coastal Carolina, with Louisiana, some really good teams in that Sun Belt. Heck, we saw how good Georgia State was last year when the Pirates went down to Atlanta. So that Sun Belt, we talked about it with Steve Cotton, voice of Marshall, the other day. Conference USA, much better than the nationwide perception. You can certainly say that about the Fun Belt too, right?
Oh, without question. This year this is going to be the best that the Sun Belt has been preseason in its history. Just because you've got 3 teams that are all top 25 caliber teams in App State, Coastal Carolina, and even Louisiana. I just picked up my Phil Steele magazine to study up on the season, and you've got all 3 of those teams in I think, Phil's top 32 programs in his power ranking. So you've never really had that. I mean, you've had maybe one team here and there be a top 25 caliber team in the Sun Belt, and App State's been in the top 25 the last couple of years, but you've never had a situation where you've had multiple teams. and this year potentially 3 teams that are probably all going to receive votes in the preseason top 25. So from that standpoint, this is as powerful as the Sun Belt has been just because it has multiple power teams coming in this year. And you talk about that non-conference schedule. It's interesting you mentioned Marshall. I mean, App's got ECU and then at Miami, and then then they're going to host Marshall on a Thursday night game. And Marshall was a top 25 team for a chunk last year, mostly because they had an early win over Appalachian. So the non-conference schedule is tough. App has to play both Louisiana and Coastal Carolina. So you're looking at already almost half of its schedule are going to be against very, very tough quality opponents.
Adam Witten joining us, voice of the Appalachian State Mountaineers. Adam, let's get a quick scouting report on the offense and defense. Let's start with the offense. What's the quarterback situation at App, and who are some players you're excited to call some plays for in 2021 on the offensive side?
Well, the quarterback situation is really where most people are focusing their attention this year, because App's going to have a new starter at quarterback. You know, during its success at the FBS level, it's really been 2 quarterbacks. It's been Taylor Lamb, who is one of the best of all time, and then starting in 2018, it was Zach Thomas, who started the last 3 years at quarterback. And so going into this year, App's going to the transfer portal as its projected starter. It's going to be Chase Bryce, who was the quarterback for Duke last year, but originally committed to play at Clemson. And he's looking for a fresh start, and he's going to be coming in and trying to get this offense, keep it on track and keep it rolling, and maybe even improve upon what it was from a year ago. You know, Chase, when he was at Duke, you know, it's no secret that Duke turned the ball over a lot on offense, but I think based upon what they feel like they can do with Chase and work it, he got a chance to go through spring practice. He's got a ton of weapons around him. You've got one of the best running backs, I think, at the G5 level in Cam Peoples, who rushed for over 300 yards in their bowl game to end last season. Their wide receivers, they have a couple of 3 super seniors coming back that have been starters for a number of years. Plus, you return a guy who's could be an NFL quality talent in Corey Sutton. They are loaded at the wide receiver position. Offensive line, there are a couple spots that there'll be some position battles in fall camp. They had to move some folks around based on some departures at the offensive line, but at the skill position, the weapons that are going to be at the disposal of a first-year starter, at least with Appalachian and Chase Bryce, I think it's got the potential to be a very exciting offense. And having a new offensive coordinator who's familiar with the program. Frank Ponce was the passing game coordinator under Scott Satterfield at Appalachian. He went to Louisville to be the quarterback's coach and just returned to Appalachian this year to be the offensive coordinator. So we're really excited about what the offense can do now, getting Frank Ponce back into the mix as the offensive coordinator. So really excited to see how things shake out for the offense, but certainly everyone's got their eye on what Chase Bryce is going to be able to do as the new starting quarterback.
Adam Witten joining us, giving us a scouting report on the 2021 Appalachian State Mountaineers. How about defensively, Adam? What do the Mountaineers bring to the table on that side of the ball?
Again, a lot of returning talent, and most of I think the names that are really impressive are in the middle of that defense. It's a 3-4 defense, but you've got a couple of linebackers in DeMarco Jackson and Brendan Harrington that are getting first-team all-conference recognition already. Demetrius Taylor is their best pass rusher. He had an unbelievable season in 2019. I think a lot of the reason why they beat North Carolina in Chapel Hill in 2019 was because Demetrius Taylor, if you go back and look at his stat line from that game, he single-handedly dominated that game on defense. He did just about everything in that game. And so they're hoping that he can get back to his form in 2019, but he's back as a super senior to lead that defense up front. Tremendous talent and speed at linebacker. And then in the secondary, you know, they lose a guy like Shamar G. Charles, who was drafted by the Green Bay Packers at corner, but they've got Sean Jolly, who was an All-American selection a couple of years ago as a very talented corner, and a lot of talent in the back end led by Caden Smith at safety. So a lot of experience, another unit with a lot of returning talent, few key super seniors coming back. But this App State defense, it's always built upon speed. They're never going to blow you away with their measurables in terms of height and weight, but you watch them run around the field and the way they swarm to the ball and the way they create havoc and turnovers. That's where they're going to make an impact, and they've certainly got the talent up front and the depth behind it to have another great year on defense.
Adam Whitten joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Adam, there's always conversation when a team goes from FCS to FBS, or I guess in Ab's case it was more 1AA to 1A at the time, that, is this move worth it? You're going from playing for championships every year to not having a chance to make a championship. Well, now with this new news coming out that we could see the playoffs expanding from 4 to 12, and the guidelines that they put out initially, it gives schools like East Carolina, schools in the Sun Belt like App State, something to play for, some hope that they could be that team. In fact, the folks down in Conway, South Carolina are probably saying it's happening too late because they could have been invited last year after their season. But, Adam, that news has to kind of put a hop in the step for the folks there at Appalachian State, just like it did here in Greenville and schools all across the country that previously have not been invited to the table at all.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of it's a polarizing topic, but I think it's polarizing based on what level the school that you pull for is.
Right.
If you're an SEC school, you may feel differently about it than you would if you're a Sun Belt school. But if you're a fan of a school in the Group of Five, how can you not be excited about the possibility of playoff expansion? Because the one thing that you take away from it is that the G5 is guaranteed a seat at the table. Because the stipulation is that it would be the top 6 conference champions that would get put into the playoff field. It has to include the Group of Five because there will be at least 6 champions in there. And it actually says, hey, if for some reason you get 2 G5 conference champions that are ranked higher than, say, a Pac-12 conference champion, then you might have a chance to get more than one team. I mean, who knows? We'll start where we can. We'll take what we can get. But I mean, as somebody that's associated with a G5 program that has been in the top 25 and competes for conference championships over the last few years, I mean, I'm thrilled about the idea that, hey, if things come together the right way in a season, it's not just your ceiling is no longer just a New Year's Six bowl game. Your ceiling is now a spot in the college football playoff, and that's really exciting if you're a fan of a school at the Group of Five.
Absolutely. Well said. Adam Whitten joining us today on the Fixed NC Live line, play-by-play voice of the Appalachian State Mountaineers. Adam, have a great summer. How about we hook up again week of the game and preview Mountaineers and Pirates one more time? We'll do it in September. Really looking forward to the matchup, and have a great rest of your summer, and we'll talk to you down the road, Adam.
Yeah, you got it. Anytime. Thanks for having me.
All right, Adam Whitten, play-by-play voice of the Appalachian State Mountaineers, joining us today on Pirate Radio Live. We will reconvene with Adam when we get you ready for the opening game of the season on the Bud Light pregame tailgate.
Let's go.
Bud Light pregame tailgate season, boys.
Man.
Coming up not too long in the future. Excited about that. That'll be a 3:30 start time for us here on a Thursday for that Thursday night, or App State and ECU 7:30 to begin the season at Bank of America Stadium on that new fast turf that they're going to lay down there in Charlotte.
Will there be turf monsters? We shall see.
All right, great setup. Is that Chandler or Johnny? Where's John? What does Johnny do?
Johnny only works on trivia days.
Yeah, I hadn't seen him around. All right, tell you what. Let's go ahead and open it up right now.
Let's do it.
We got a great giveaway for you on a Friday. Let's open up the booty bag.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
Free Beer Friday, brought to you by Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade. The bubbly refreshment of seltzer meets the taste of sweet lemonade, featuring 4 bold flavors to choose from, and it's right here in front of me. You've got the black cherry, strawberry, peach, and, of course, the original lemonade. We are giving away a 12-pack. Also, Bud Light T-shirt. We got koozies. We got lunch for 2 at Tiebreakers and a large Domino's pizza that can be yours if you are caller number.
If you're going to win the 12-pack, you have to be caller number 12.
317-1250. Caller 12 is a winner on a Free Beer Friday. Morgan Ahlers joins us. Vanderbilt up 3-1 with a runner on second in the top of the 7th inning. We'll be back with more on Pirate Radio Live. Call to win right now. We're back after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
At US Cellular, we see our customers as more than just customers. They're neighbors. When you switch to US Cellular, you can get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free with no hidden requirements. As a neighbor, you deserve it. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
Does the idea of going to your local U.S. Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
Hello, this is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now's the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage at historically low rates. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250, Equal Housing Lender.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulp of Mexico, a huge 46-ounce lime margarita for only $6.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach.
For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's in downtown Greenville and now available through DoorDash, featuring a half gallon of the famous margarita mix to go for only $9.99. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
Greenville's original express car wash is now offering a fast pass for as low as $19.99. That's one pass, 4 locations, and unlimited washes. Visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and East 10th Street, and also in New Bern on Glen Burnie Road. And by popular demand, Pirates Cove on Fire Tower Road is now offering interior cleaning.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. At Grifols, it adds up fast. New donors can earn up to $1,000 in your very first month. It's the easiest way to make extra money. Start now at Biomat USA, 505 South Memorial Drive, Greenville. Find your donor center at grifolsplasma.com. Make up to $1,000 in a month and save lives now at Grifols Biomat USA. A better donor experience and better pay.
I can't think of anyone who doesn't love a clean car, but how often do you actually go to the car wash? Does it take too long, or maybe it's just not a very nice place? Tommy's Express changes everything. Our wash is bright, inviting, clean, and fast.
I love the flat conveyor belt. So easy to pull onto, much smoother ride, and safer for my car.
And when you join Tommy Club, you can wash as often as you like for one low monthly price.
I save money and time.
We're Tommy's Express.
Tommy's Express Wash, now open on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road in Greenville.
This is assistant football coach Drew Dudzik, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Got damage? Damage from wood rot, fixed. Damage from smoke or fire, fixed. Damage caused by water, fixed. If you got damage, use a contractor that works for you, not your your insurance company. Visit fixednc.com today or call 999-0001. That's 3 9s, 3 zeros, and a 1. Fixed NC, restore, renew, and maintain. And congratulations to Chad Moore, the winner of our Free Beer Friday giveaway today. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
What is wrong with you?
I'm just having one of those days.
Marble mouth, one of those days. I'm glad Mike Mullis isn't here. I hope he's not listening right now.
I hope he's not either.
That was tough, Jeff.
It's a lot of tongue twisters in there.
They're just words, man. Words.
Tongue twisters.
All right, welcome back to the show. Did you say who won our Free Beer Friday giveaway?
It was no other than Chad Moore.
Chad Moore, who said he won late last month. He wins late this month to keep the streak alive. He has been red hot since the treasure chest fumbles that he had.
Better enjoy it.
You will have 3 more days to win this month, and then we will reset the table on Thursday, July the 1st. We have 3 shows left in the month of June, beginning on Monday. All right, let's head out to the Fixed NC Live line and visit now with the voice of Dowdy Ficklin Stadium and the voice of Minges Coliseum. He is Morgan Ahlers, who joins us on this Friday. Morg, how you doing, man?
I am doing great. A beautiful Friday, and excited to be on with the legendary Clip Brock.
Just a couple of legends being legendary on a Friday. Boy, Chandler's shaking his head profusely at that comment. Morgan, let's start with, a lot of ECU news and notes this week. And on our Bud Light ECU report, we'll talk about Cliff Godwin still remaining the ECU head baseball coach. LSU goes out and hires Arizona's Jay Johnson to take over their program. Morgan, what did you think of that news when you heard it on Thursday?
Personally, I was excited for East Carolina. But, I know Cliff, that LSU is one of those jobs in college baseball, and you guys have talked about it all week, that is really one of the pinnacle jobs if you're a baseball coach. This is one of the jobs that, it's one of the icon jobs, and, for Cliff to be in one of the top 2 or 3 people, it says a lot for his status in college baseball, his status as a college baseball coach. But it also says a lot about the status of East Carolina baseball and where he's brought it and where it is now and how close we are to reaching a lot of fulfillment of dreams, so to speak. And, we were close this year. We ran into a very good Vanderbilt team who's playing right now against North Carolina State. And, this is a program that I think is going to reach there sooner than later.
And Morgan, it feels like we're out of the woods. I don't know if we are completely. Now Arizona has to hire a coach, so I guess the good thing is it always felt like that Ole Miss, LSU would be certainly destinations for Cliff Godwin to potentially take over at. I don't know if Arizona would be one of those jobs, certainly one of the top jobs in college baseball right now, but I don't know if he's the fit there with Arizona that he would be, down in the SEC.
I think when you look at the West Coast schools, and I would put Arizona in that category, they recruit all over, but they're more of a Western recruiting base, where I think Coach Godwin has gotten some players from California and some, from the western part of the country, but primarily their recruiting area is the Southeast, maybe up into, New York, wherever like that, some folks, but primarily that's where his recruiting base. And I think he's more of a Southeast recruiting guy, as an Eastern Coast coach. I think that's where his strengths lie. So, although Arizona is obviously a primetime job, it would shock me if he went out there. But what do I know?
Morgan Ahlers joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. I saw Kendall Rogers earlier today. Somebody asked him about the San Diego job. Apparently, there's a head coach opening there at San Diego, and he mentioned a couple of names. One of those names was Bryant Ward, Morgan, who, of course, the name we know well, and it's interesting. Bryant Ward, went to high school here, college ball here, but went out to UCLA, and it's interesting how these coaches develop a niche, and they'll bounce around, but usually they bounce around in their own region, like you just spoke about. And I wonder if Bryant Ward, who would probably be in contention for the ECU job if it's ever open, will he be a West Coast guy, or will he ever return here to the East? But his name was mentioned with the San Diego opening, so good for him.
good for him. You know, he's done a really good job out of I think he's at UCLA right now. Like you said, he's been on the West Coast now for many years, and really good baseball player here. And you know, he's made a name for himself. It's time for him to take that next move up. And I think when he gets that chance to be a head coach, he's going to do very, very well because he's a baseball guy. You know, he grew up around baseball, went through Greenville Little Leagues, and you know, he's a baseball guy. And whoever gets him as a head coach is going to be very lucky.
Speaking of Greenville Little League, Brian Weingart, Scooter Rogers and company will have to get that field ready for tonight, Game 3 of the Little League City Championship. Morgan, I was doing sports trivia the other night at AJ's, and you look up at the TVs, you got NBA playoffs on, you got Stanley Cup playoffs, you got Major League Baseball, and you've got the City Championship of Greenville Little Leagues on, and I'm sure AJ's wasn't the only bar in town that had it on, and people are interested in it. People know the kids by names. They know, obviously, the coaches, Coach Scott and Coach Aldridge, and it's really cool to see the community, even if they're not at the game, kind of rally around it and be interested in it.
Yeah, you know, Greenville Little League, I had the privilege of coaching there for a long time, and it's a special environment. Pitt County, with baseball and softball, it's such a really neat community. There's a lot of different leagues. Obviously, I would say Greenville Little League is probably the pinnacle of it as far as youth baseball with what they've done there with Starling Stadium and the program that has been built up since the 50s. And the success they've had, but there's a lot of great baseball all over in softball all over Pitt County, you know. But people know, as you mentioned, know the kids by name, know that what they're doing, and they've done such a good job with the pandemic last year of getting those games on television when people couldn't watch them on Facebook Live and what the case may. And they're doing that now, so it gives a whole other audience to a really exciting game. And that baseball on a small field, on the Little League size field, is a fun game. It's a fast game, and when you're playing at a high level like these kids are right now, it's really fun to watch.
Morgan, as you know, working PA with East Carolina, Scott Rogers runs the scoreboard for different sports. He was there at a baseball game I was doing, and we were talking about the coaches he has had to eject as an umpire for Greenville Little League this season. So I'll ask you, Morgan, be honest with me, and statute of limitations are up. How many games did you get ejected from as a coach?
Greenville Little League, I don't think I got ejected. No,
all right.
No, but I should have.
They gave you a little leeway?
And you can ask Brian Weingart this, bless his heart. I scared an umpire so bad, I think he was scared to throw me out.
All right.
I have been thrown out of the game before, but I don't think I was thrown out of a Greenville Little League game.
What did you get thrown out of? Where was that at?
It was a travel tournament and probably like a 4-year-old T-ball tournament.
There you go. Well, hey, look, Brian Bailey, he got tossed out of girls' softball games, right? So, I mean, you're not alone.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of baseball. You got to fire your team up.
There you go.
No, there were times that I probably should have been thrown out and probably wasn't. I really don't think I was. Maybe I'm getting Alzheimer's. I don't know, senile or something. I don't think I was.
We'll talk to Weingarts later on this summer about the softball World Series coming to Greenville, and I'll make sure I ask him about you and your coaching record there.
I did okay.
Okay, all right. Okay. Morgan, another thing you can relate to is the Conley-Rose rivalry, and we had another chapter in that book, and a big chapter it was. J.H. Rose knocking off D.H. Conley to go to the state championship, which actually, I believe, is underway right now. I think 5 o'clock, game 1 between Cox Mill and J.H. Rose began. And, Morgan, we saw the other night J.H. Rose take down their rivals and advance to the state championship. Just another plaque on the wall for the legendary Ronald Vincent.
Yeah, you know, we just mentioned it, the great baseball that's played, you know, in Pitt County. You got some great teams with Rose and Conley and South. I mean, there's just some really good baseball players. And, you know, that was a great game. Congratulations. I'm a Viking guy like you are. But congratulations to RV and to the Rose High Rampants. They won that game 5-0. They're playing down in Fayetteville as we speak. Hopefully the weather won't be too bad down there. And, you know, this is one of those deals that the pitching rules in high school have modified over the last couple of years as well. So both of these teams have already played 1 or 2 games this week. Now they have a chance to play possibly 3 games in 2 days. Pitching and depth of pitching is going to come into play here for this 3A championship.
Morgan Ahlers joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Still baseball to go around the area, but we started to switch gears and talk football. And Morgan, just earlier in the show, we talked to Adam Whitten, play-by-play voice of App State. We've also talked to Tommy Suggs, color analyst at South Carolina, and Steve Cotton, the voice of Marshall, as we begin our opponent previews for ECU football. And yesterday, Stephen Igo and I began our position previews for ECU football. We talked quarterbacks, and always kind of awkward bringing up the quarterbacks with Morgan Ahlers, but we have to do it here on Pirate Radio. Morgan, one question we've asked quite a bit, and we get asked quite a bit, is the starting quarterback for ECU, Holton Ahlers, and running the football. Will he run more this year? Did you not run him because he, didn't have a backup really the last couple of years that was ready? I don't know. What do you say to that, Morgan? Do you think we see, obviously we're going to see him air it out. Do we see him run the football a little bit more in 2021?
I think with the plan that they have is to run the football, to be able to get out there and move around in the pocket. I think the last couple of years, even though they've run the RPO, it's more of the PO, the pass option,
right,
the run pass option, for a number of different reasons. I think they're more comfortable with some of the backups now that they've got.
Yeah,
they've been in the program for another year, and they're learning it. I think you've got Mason Garcia back there. He's learning. He's had a lot to learn. You look at him and you go, wow, he's a big kid, big, strong kid. But, being a quarterback is reading defenses, is being able to audible, seeing things and making split-second decisions. And that takes a while to develop. It took a while for Holton to develop that. And I can remember talking to him when he was a freshman in high school. I told him we went down to New Bern. I think I've told you this story. We went down to New Bern to play, and New Bern that year won the state championship. And I told him, I said, Bud, last year you were playing at Chicago. This year you're playing 4A football against a team that's probably going to win the state championship.
Right
there, and do what you do and do what the coaches tell you to do, and don't overcomplicate things. And I said, as you go through your career as a quarterback, things are going to slow down. You're going to make those decision-making processes are going to speed up. And I think that's what's happening with him now. I think it happened last year early on, and it sort of came across as the season went on that things started slowing down for him a little bit. And, he's in his fourth year here as a quarterback, and, one, maybe two, we'll see what happens. But, this is a team that, God, I'm excited about. I think they've got so much potential this year that, you see some of these publications coming out, and East Carolina 8th or 9th or 12th in the conference, whatever. That's based on the last 2 or 3 years. I think sometimes you see some of these riders, and they can, there's a lot of football teams out there. There's a whole lot of football teams playing, college football, and for people to have to go through and break down every team. Phil still does a great job with it.
Yeah,
literally talks to every head coach. But some of these guys don't. They just look at the records and look what they got coming back and think, okay, this is what they're going to do this year. Again, based on what it's done in the past, but things change, people get better, and I think East Carolina has gotten dramatically better.
Morgan, some really, sad kind of just, stinky news we saw earlier this week. That's a shame. Peyton Winstead, who wants to play football and came to East Carolina to be a center with his buddy Holton Ahlers. I know they developed a relationship even before they got to ECU here. Unable to continue his career due to injuries. It's just another kind of cursed center position for ECU story, unfortunately, with John Spellacy and now Peyton Winstead. And look, Fernando Fry has done all he can do and done a good job, and hopefully Trent Holler will be the center of the future, and Mike Houston will continue to add guys at that position. But hated to see that news for Peyton Winstead, and I know you, as I said, he and Holden developed a relationship. You hated to see that as well.
Yeah, I got to know the Winsteads during the recruiting process, and they're from nearby, Leesville Road in Raleigh, and good family. The youngest son, Brock, is coming up now. I think he might be a junior this year, and he's getting a lot of looks right now. And Peyton has really battled shoulder problems throughout his career. When even his true freshman year, played a little bit of the NC State game, really banged up and had to have shoulder surgery, and he's had multiple surgeries. It gets to a point where you can't do it anymore. You can't continue, to play that position and do that with lifting and getting bigger and stronger when your shoulder just doesn't want to hold up to it, regardless of how much they've worked on it. And he's such a good kid, such a good family, and I'm excited to see that he's going to be helping Coach Shankweiler on the offensive line.
Cool.
Being part of the program, and that's just good for him. And watch out for the country music scene. He likes to sing a little bit too. So
all right.
He might be breaking news here. He might be singing a little bit somewhere.
All right, you heard it here first. Morgan, kind of our question of the week, been floating this one out there to Jeff, Charles, and others. I'll ask you. With Marshall back on the schedule this year, we were talking earlier in the week how we liked that game. I wouldn't mind seeing Southern Miss back on the schedule, every other year. Get that old Conference USA rivalry and even independent rivalry going again. How about you, Morgan? And I'm taking the SEC, ACC off the table. Obviously, we want to play those, but are there any games from years past you would like to see added to the ECU schedule here in the future?
The Southern Miss was always a really heated rivalry, as you mentioned, over the years, and there's been a lot of good games. I like the West Virginia game when we used to play West Virginia quite a bit. I always thought that was a fun game, a fun trip. If you got a chance to go up to Morgantown, I know that's an SEC, or is that an ACC or an SEC or a Big East game? I don't even know who they play for anymore. But Virginia to me was always a really fun trip.
Yeah,
and that might be one of the games. Right off the top of my head that we used to play. Let me get back to you on that one, Clippy.
You have your homework for the weekend, Morgan. I want it on my desk by next Friday, sir.
We can do that. By next Friday, I think I can figure something out.
You can have a team in mind. Morgan, what you got planned for the weekend? What you got? Wedding, DJ, all the above? What you got going on?
Let's see. Wedding rehearsal tonight. That's why I couldn't make it into the studio. I have a wedding tomorrow and a wedding on Sunday.
Man, busy.
Yeah, busy. It's been a busy week. Been blessed this week, and then it slows up a little bit for July and first part of August, and it kicks back into the fall. But if you're out there and you're getting married or having a party, call me, please. I need the money. I got 4 mouths and 4 kids to feed.
And they are big, giant human being kids. It's a lot of food that you have to provide.
I had lunch with them today. One showed up, and I had Jordan and Griffin and then Aaron Jarman, who was one of Holton's roommates, showed up. And
oh boy!
My dog.
How'd that bill turn out for you?
Let's see. It was very good for tiebreakers. That's why I got to work all weekend.
All right. Well, Bram got paid, if nothing else. Morgan.
Yeah, Bram.
Thanks for joining us, man. Have a great weekend. We will talk to you again next Friday.
Thank you, Cliff. As always, you guys do such a great job, and you don't get told us enough. But doing what you do for 3 hours every day, you and Shirley and everybody there, and Chandler and Big Dog. You guys do such a great job, and I'm blessed to be a part of it.
Oh, thank you, Morgan. Appreciate that. We'll talk to you next week, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, have a great weekend.
All right. It feels nice to get a compliment from Morgan Ahlers. That will send you off to the weekend with a smile on your face.
My Friday has been made.
Yeah, even got a Big Dog shout out there.
I mean, I can't lie. I kind of got goosebumps a little bit.
Well, he had to shout out the Big Dog.
Can't fake that.
On Big Dog Week.
Can't fake that. You got the goosebumps. NC State with 2 runners on. They're in commercial break. I looked away. Either they got out of the inning, Vanderbilt did, or they're making a pitching change. I think it's 2 on, 2 out for the Wolfpack. There was 2 on, nobody out a moment ago, and Sam Highfield, the pitcher from the other night, was on second. He got his 3rd hit of the game. He was 3 for 3, and then Vanderbilt's menace, all-world catcher, guns him down when he got too far off second base following a bunt attempt.
Off a botched bunt, more or less.
And threw him out at second. But NC State does have runners at first and second with 2 outs, I believe. Once again, they are in commercial break. But it's 3-1 Vanderbilt. NC State threatening, trying to get back in the game in the 7th inning. All right, let's take our last time out. We will come back, have more for you on a Friday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new Buick Enclave 2021 and save over $6,800 or 0% for 72 months. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Cliff Godwin. Summer is here and I want to invite your son to attend Cliff Godwin Youth Camps. We will offer 3 sessions the weeks of June 28th, July 12th, and July 26th. All camps will be held at Clark LeClaire Stadium and campers will get baseball instruction from members of the 2021 ECU baseball team. Campers will also play games and each camp ends with our famous Pirate Slip and Slide. Full day and half day sessions are offered. For more information, visit cliffgodwinbaseballcamp.com. See you there. Go Pirates.
Jersey Mike's would like to dedicate the next 3 seconds to our new grilled portobello mushroom and Swiss sub. Trust us, it tastes good too, because fresh ingredients make a sub above. If Jersey Mike's turkey had a resume, it would say it's 99% fat-free and raised without antibiotics. But our turkey already has its dream job at Jersey Mike's, because premium meat makes a sub above.
In studio today with Natalie Edwards from AG Home Solutions and eXp Realty. Natalie, you have a unique partnership because you work in the real estate market and also work with AG Home Solutions. How does that help your clients?
So it's interesting, the trends that we're currently seeing in real estate. Inventory is so low. We're seeing a high percentage of folks who want to renovate their spaces, perhaps add a home office because now they're working from home. And so they come to us with those design ideas and we're able to help them navigate through that.
What other trends are you seeing in the marketplace right now?
Yeah, so we're definitely seeing increased needs for home office space, folks being able to do virtual learning from home. So how can we redesign that space so it's functional? We're also seeing folks that do want to take advantage of this being a seller's market, and so they want to freshen up that space and get it ready to put on the market. And so we can come in and provide them with some good guidance on things that they might want to consider before they list their property.
For real estate or remodeling, how can folks contact you?
252-947-2526 or aghomesolutions.com.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles for my friends at Ed Watkins Marine. I've known Ed personally for years, covering his winning performances on the football field and on NASCAR's pit road. Now Ed is winning on the water, and you get to win too. You win with awesome boat prices from Ed Watkins Marine, and of course, great service after the sale. If you're looking for a new boat, contact Ed Watkins Marine today. They will deliver anywhere. Find them online at edwatkinsmarine.com and tell them the voice sent you.
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. Your office deserves a proactive tech support approach instead of always reacting to issues after the damage is done. You need BizCare. BizCare tech support and cybersecurity plans keep you ahead of potential issues and much safer from cyber threats like ransomware. What's at your office? Call William today to schedule your free BizCare consultation or learn more at universitypccare.com.
This is Big John Williams, strength and conditioning coach for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful, and that's why it's important to have a bank in your corner when you need them. As the business world throws you curveballs, Select Bank and Trust is here to be responsive to your needs. Select Bank's team of local bankers can make local decisions and cares about you, the customer. Get the business services that are right for your business today with Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select. Let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, back with you on PRL here on a Friday. NC State has the bases juiced. A reliever came in to face one batter and hit him, and he's out of the game. So now another reliever comes in for Vandy, and NC State will have bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, trailing 3-1. I'll keep you updated on that. Robert on Facebook Live says, what do you think about the Jalen Rose and Scottie Pippen comments? It's funny how one side is commentary and the other side is racist. Now, I don't know what Jalen Rose said. I don't understand where all this came from. So Scottie Pippen, why was he talking about the Kukoc stuff again? Did this have something to do with Kevin Durant?
He had an interview in GQ, I believe, that came out over the past few days. And he was critical of Ben Simmons in the interview. He was critical of KD. And KD had essentially told him to shut his mouth because they brought in a better shooter off the bench when he couldn't do the job.
So, okay, and then where did we get to the Tony Kukoc play where Phil Jackson drew up a play for Tony Kukoc? This was when Jordan wasn't on the Bulls.
That's what KD brought up.
Oh, okay.
The comments were from Scotty were trying to downplay KD as more of just a shooter or a scorer, and not as a complete player as somebody like a LeBron or a
Okay, that's right. And then Kevin Durant said, "Wait a minute, didn't
Phil bring in a shooter in
run a
for
play
you?
to Tony Kukoc because he's a better shooter than Scottie Pippen or something like that?"
Yeah, something of that nature.
Scottie Pippen called the Phil Jackson's decision to give the ball to Tony Kukoc a racial move.
I love that we're still discussing that moment.
I know. It got popular once again after the big dance.
Yeah.
Or is that what it was called? No, the last dance, not the big dance. I feel like, too, doesn't Scottie Pippen notoriously say dumb stuff? Like, doesn't he have bad takes?
Yeah, they're not great. I think Scotty's whole situation kind of went downhill when he got on that Jailblazers team. I don't think that team did him well. I think that team
messed him up the rest of his life.
He was hanging out with Bonzi Wells and Rasheed Wallace, just out here being lawless in the streets.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know Phil Jackson personally. I'm going to say his decision to draw up a play that worked, by the way, to Tony Kukoc was not a racial decision.
No, it was not. And the whole thing, like the whole interview, feels very Last Dance-ish to me. Like Scotty tried to have his own, because the whole time in the interview, Scotty has a glass very similar to the one that Michael had in the Last Dance interviews, where he's drinking, he's drinking his scotch or whatever the whole time.
So he's always felt that,
or whatever he's drinking.
Yeah, he's always felt that he's been like, he hasn't got his shine
due.
or whatever,
sure,
because of Michael Jordan,
Michael's shadow, and then didn't win post Jordan.
I guess did Jalen Rose say Kevin Love made the Team USA because he's white? That's what Robert says.
Oh, is that where that came from?
Yeah,
I have not heard that.
They
want to say it's because they're really thin on bigs, and
I said the other day,
floor spacing big makes a ton of sense.
I have no clue why he's on the team. I don't know if he's still relevant in basketball.
I mean, he's been in Cleveland.
There could be something where they want some white representation on the team. Could be something to that, but
I don't think so.
I don't know. I feel like you could do better than Kevin Love. You asked me who was better. I don't have an answer. I was naming guys that might not even play anymore in the NBA.
Sure.
So, yeah, I'm kind of out on...
I mean, it's not like Team USA can just go take Luka.
Right. He's not American.
We just can't do that. I mean, we're relying on Americans. I'm not even sure we can get Tyler Hero. He might be Canadian or something.
I suggested another white dude, a Zeller. I accidentally said Tyler Zeller the first time.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Very gone from the league.
Let's bring in Cody and his awful hair. Cody's got to just shave it this offseason, right?
This is him.
Lose the ghost.
I mean, he is, that hair is tough. That's a tough situation.
He has no emotion. He just...
He's kind of
at
robotic.
he's at the free throw line like...
What I do like, and I've seen this in mock drafts since the lottery, is that the Hornets are focused on a big man, a shot blocking, rim running big, and
there's a foreign
Yeah, we
guy
looked up a
that's
dude.
like 18 years old.
Yeah.
6'10", I can't remember his name. Sorgan.
I like the guy.
Schnorgenborgen?
Schnorgen.
I like the kid out of Texas because he's got like 7'2" wingspan and unreal.
I'm sure whoever they get will stink. We need to take our real final timeout this time. NC State kicking it around. That'll be E6. They got out of the inning. Vanderbilt now has a runner on the top of the 8th with nobody out. Vandy up 3-1. We'll wrap it up for the week when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Former National Hockey League player Craig Cox. If you're going to get into a fight on the ice with a guy, what's the one thing you better do?
Better hit him more than he hits you.
But there is an art to the fighting, isn't there?
Everybody's got their own philosophy on, how to do it.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
When fun finally returns, Bud Light legends don't just come back. They come roaring back, carrying a cooler full of Bud Lights, an inflatable dolphin, and those Velcro pads with the balls that stick to them. And this summer, with a cooler at their side, they're gonna make up for all the fun we've missed. Welcome back, Bud Light legends. It's time to take summer by the coolers. Cooler up at BudLightLegends.com. Enjoy responsibly. 2021 AB Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Ahoy there, mateys! It's Captain Jack Spare of R&R Tire Express, your local tire and wheel shop in Greenville, offering affordable, easy payment options for easy ownership, savvy? Our customers love our treasure of tires and wheels, easy payment options, and customer care package, too. To learn more about R&R, stop by 3920 US 264 or rnrtires.com.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
Hey, Troy D here for my friends at Villa Verde. If you know me, you know I love being outside, but finding a good place to eat outside can sometimes be tough. Well, our pals at Villa Verde have fixed that. Not only does Villa Verde have awesome, unique, one-of-a-kind dishes here in Greenville, they also have a brand new outside dining area. And this outside area is sweet. It's covered, you're in the shade, and cooling fans are on. Enjoy the comfort and relaxation of dining outside with our friends at Villa Verde. Villa Verde on 10th Street, a platform for good.
If you have family coming over this summer, the last thing you want is your air conditioning to not keep the house cool. Face it, the only thing worse than an irritable mother-in-law is a sweaty mother-in-law. So call Delcor to get ready for summer. For a limited time, put no money down and get 12 months same as cash when replacing an HVAC system. Keep your mother-in-law cool. Everybody will thank you. Go to DelcorInc.com or call 252-321-8868. Delcor, the service professionals.
This is James Greenleaf, the General Manager of Delcor Heating, Coolant, and Plumbing. If you've been holding off on replacing your AC unit, I urge you to make that decision now. The factories have warned all their dealers that HVAC equipment delays will get worse as demand exceeds production capabilities this summer. Don't wait until the peak of the summer heat to get your equipment replaced. Let's get your home ready now. We have great financing options available, including same as cash, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Call Delcor at 321-8868 or visit us at DelcorInc.com. Delcor, the service professionals.
At U.S. Cellular, we see our customers as more than just customers. They're neighbors. When you switch to U.S. Cellular, you can get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free with no hidden requirements. As a neighbor, you deserve it. U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular since 1997. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. and is the best place to watch our favorite sports while enjoying the best wings in town. They also have sandwiches, appetizers, cold beer, and more. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates today. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Great weekend for sports on tap with College World Series, Major League Baseball, NBA playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs, local baseball.
A doubleheader tomorrow in the state championship.
Rose will get underway at 11 a.m. They will not be playing tonight against Cox Mill. It'll be 11 a.m. and they'll play at 5 p.m. tomorrow. Scooter Rogers tweeting out a moment ago, Greenville Little League is a go for 7 o'clock. So they're going to be ready tonight at Elm Street Park. Remax and host Lions Game 3 of the city championship. We will see you Monday, 3 o'clock for an all-new edition of Pirate Radio Live. Big Dog, great to have 3 hours of radio with you every day this week.
15 hours of live content.
Yes, sir. We did it. We did it big. Chan, man, you survived. Not only did you survive, you
excelled.
You flourished.
You know what? And I was kind of questioning my performance this week in the big chair. But Redbeard on Twitter,
critic of all things,
a critic of almost everything, told me how great of a job I did, and I appreciate that, Redbeard.
That is high praise for sure. For sure.
For sure.
We will see you folks Monday, 3 o'clock on Pirate Radio Live. Have a great weekend. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930.